Well, hello there, and welcome to an evening in 10 forward installment number 84. And in this show, well, there will be fire. I'm absolutely sure of it. This is off the back of a potentially the worst episode of television that I've ever seen, and it bears the name Star Trek. However, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this together, and what better place to be on a Friday night than with like-minded individuals who just want to enjoy a good teardown of this. Well, I could say it's the laziest thing, the laziest bit of writing I've ever known. And to do that, I have two very special people with me. I have Critic Al from Critic Reviews and Guna. How are you guys? How are you, Al?
I've recovered. That's all I can say.
How about you, Guna?
I haven't. Do you know, it took me 8 hours to watch 1 hour of TV.
8 hours?
No, it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. I had to keep pausing it every couple of seconds.
It was utter brain rot. I had to keep stopping it. I just couldn't do it. I was actually going to give up at one point. I thought, no, I'll see it through somehow.
Yeah. No, I literally take screenshots anyway. I was like, pause it. All right, I'm waiting for a little bit. I can't play it again. It's just too cringy. Right, play a little bit more. Screenshot. Have another little rest. It was genuine torture. I've put the Alex from A Clockwork Orange torture scene in my video because that's what it was actually like.
Yeah, it was very. I went through it all in one sitting, which is funny really because I found it difficult to sit still. Every scene had something in it that I absolutely hated, and every time there was a cringeworthy moment, I found myself literally biting through my lip. It was a truly painful experience, and I have to say that I haven't actually suffered that much through an episode as I have the one that I saw Thursday night or last night. And I knew that when I put my review out I wasn't going to do it justice, but I was just so immensely angry with what I just watched.
It was almost more of a reaction video, really, wasn't it, for you?
Yeah, it was. I didn't want to put a reaction in the title because people usually associate that with, oh, we're going to see him react to the episode. But it was, I knew halfway through filming the review that it was just going to be an angry rant because there was nothing coherent that I could say at that point because it was so fresh. So raw. I just want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Juana Cruz, Alia Body, Mephisto, Sir Pavlem, and Othi. Welcome everybody to the chat. I'd say we're in this together, but oh god, he said the socialists together already. Well, I think of it as a group therapy session. And Watch Nerd's watching as well. Hello, Watch Nerd. Be thankful that you managed to avoid this latest iteration from Tawny Newsom. Oh god, absolutely wrong. Guna, how were you feeling about watching this show? What general emotions are you feeling? In general, or was that a really stupid question to ask?
What was I feeling?
Yeah,
that's how you got the shit
feeling.
kicked out of you by about 20 dudes. How did that feel? How did you feel after that?
I've never really had the highest of IQs. It's not bad, but I felt that with every passing second, the IQ was just dropping and dropping and dropping. And I thought, why am I participating in this utter tripe, utter trash, utter shite of a show? Why? And then, you know what? Because I kept stopping and starting, I probably looked on the internet, and then I realised, oh, one of the main reasons why I hate it even more than the last episode, which is quite something, is because that tawny twat had been responsible for writing it. So not only am I watching a show which is utter shite, but it's been written by someone else I dislike very, very much. Oh God, honestly, guys, I'm actually quite surprised that I'm able to tell or speak of the tale, so to speak, because I don't think I've ever seen. I mean, Disco was bad. Some of Strange New Worlds was bad. Section 31, we all know about that. I never liked Lower Decks because of Tawny. If she wasn't in it, it may have been a watchable show. And you know
Yeah, I mean,
what?
Marion
I even
Beckett was
think
just
I
a
even think
nightmare.
if Michael Burnham or whatever her name is who plays her hadn't been in Disco, it might have been a slightly better show. I'm not joking. But those two people, oh God, they're probably the worst now. As soon as you get the cartoon graphics, bit like, I don't know if you guys ever saw, what was that stupid Marvel show
Miss
with
Marvel.
Kamala Khan? Oh, Miss Marvel. Oh, I thought, here we go again. They're copying that rubbish. I thought I couldn't stand that show. Now they're doing it.
Just that.
They've brought it to Star Trek. They've brought it to Star Trek people. And then
It's
all of a
that
sudden,
Isaac's story from the Orville. That's all it is.
oh, yeah. And then you just get Sam approaching the camera and speaking to the camera. I turned it off straight. That's the first turn off. I thought, right, I can't do it. So this is what I thought of the show, that this is going to be utterly unbearable, and I was proven right. And I think more so for people who, I mean, DS9 meant a lot to me, but I think I'm more of a next gen kind of person. And then later I discovered that I loved Enterprise as well. But I know what DS9 meant to me too. And when I started realizing this is going to be a bastardization, in your words, TM, of DS9, I thought, not only is it a bad written story, not only they can't act, they can't direct, but they're also going to drag DS9 down with them as well. No, I struggled, is the honest answer.
Well, I think that it could have been so much worse, which is really weird thing to say, considering what we actually got in the end. It could have been so much worse because they didn't actually explain, end up explaining the mystery surrounding Cisco. All they did is what they usually do, and that's use classic Trek characters to try and elevate their own shitty characters, and it failed to do that. It completely missed the mark of what it was trying to achieve, but at the same time, I don't think it knew what it was trying to achieve. I simply think that Tawny Newsome, sitting there as and I quote her, new Star Trek fan, playing with something that she doesn't understand, doesn't respect, and cannot understand why people do respect it. Al, what were your thoughts, my friend?
What did I do wrong, and why do I have to put up with this? Who have I upset in a previous life? I mean, did I drown some puppies or something? I don't know. It was just, I mean, we said about last week's episode that although it wasn't good, there were some semblances of something to do with Star Trek there. You know, it kind of felt like a really bad Star Trek episode for loads of it. This, and I think I said at the time, I was like, oh, don't worry, next week we'll be back to puerile, puerile nonsense. And how right I was, because I mean, like Gunnar said, it's just Miss Marvel all over the place, like scrawlings. Oh, this is all about me, and I'm a photonic, and that means I'm a made of light, and then these are organics, and that means they're. I was just like, what? No, please. And it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. And there were so many mistakes in it as well, which shows that they just truly don't care. Like, as I was doing my review video and I was going through the footage, I found out that when Darren Raimi froze up, she says Kionian 2 different ways. The first time she says Eonian, the second time she says Kionian. And those are like sentences that follow each other. And nobody has caught it. Nobody cares about this show. It has been shat into existence to do whatever agendas or whatever ideologies they want to push. They're like, oh, we need to have maximum gay in this. And, hey, presto, there's a bloody drag queen serving at the bar for some reason. And it's just all it is. It's so poorly made. I think that's one of the things is like, if it was really well made, I'd be like, okay, that's something. The writing's rubbish, but you know, there's care and attention put into it, but that's not there. And then on top of that, you have the juvenile, you know, crap writing. Some of the worst characters I've ever seen. I mean, Sam is unbearable. You know, I'm not going to use the word I should use because obviously it's your show and I don't want to get you in trouble, but she is really, you know, I mean, there's like multiple times she says, "Oh, I can absorb any information immediately." Why is she so thick? You know, if she can absorb any information immediately, why is she so dumb? She's not like Data. You know, Data had a childlike curiosity about things, but he knew everything. He just didn't understand some human behaviors and some human idioms, which is fair enough. She doesn't know anything. You know, she'll technobabble some stuff, but other times, you know, she will know nothing. I mean, she went, "Oh, I know everything there is to know about Benjamin Sisko." Oh, and you didn't know who Dax apparently turned into. You know, one of the people that's most important in his entire life, and you didn't find out what happened to them because maybe they could help you with your mission. No? Yeah, he looks up everything. It's like later in the episode, yeah, you've got that bit where she's like, "Oh, I like the pheromone, and the reason I like the pheromone is because it's like me. You know, it's got no strings and it's got no keys." How many times do we see Caleb tapping at a haptic keyboard to reprogram Sam? They just don't think. All they care about is getting in their stupid jokes and their stupid scenes in the bars and stuff like that. And that's all they've got. And because that's complete shite, that's all we get, complete shite. And we got like 5 minutes with, and I thought the 5 minutes with Sue Clofton were the only good part of the entire show. And other than that, it didn't do anything. She didn't learn anything. It was just awful. It was all about her, and now she's a better person apparently, and she and Cyril Clofton affirmed each other, and yay, and that's it. Tap once for whiskey. Mine's a triple.
Can I just want to try and understand something to you two and people in the chat? I feel, look, I knew I was never going to like this show anyway, and I knew that it was going to be rubbish. The writing was on the table. It was so obvious the way the previous iterations of New Trek has gone. You know, I still, as a sucker, I've still got this curiosity for some blind reason to see. And again, I think I've already cited that as probably as my OCD. So I've watched it, but although I don't know what's going to happen with the remaining 5 episodes, so I'm not speaking for them. I don't know, but we had 5 episodes, and apart from the first. Correct me if I'm wrong. That they're they're at the academy, but it's a ship, right? It's a comm badge that flies. So why couldn't they have done something a little bit different and explored areas? Maybe they're known to the seniors, but there would have been even tests for the cadets, so they weren't going to be put into any real danger. Although we know, even if they were, they'd solve the problem anyway. Of course they would. But to make it a little bit more realistic, they've got the opportunity to fly around, to do Star Trek things, to maybe things that the audience have never seen before, maybe some kind of puzzles or conundrums or whatever behaviors, as Al said, whatever it is. But what do they do instead? They stay in the academy doing this one-upmanship. I'm better than you. Yes, my little Romulan dwarf friend, you are so hard. Oh my God, I'm so scared of you. And it's all about that. It's one-upmanship. It's I'm better than you, no, you're better than me. Now I'm better. This is the level of brain rot I was referring to. It's pathetic. It's such an insult to anyone who just has a little bit of common sense in their lives and has a little bit of know-how about things. It's an insult to absolutely everyone that watches it, in my opinion. I'm absolutely disgusted with this show, guys.
And there are people supporting it. I can't.
I can't work it out. They say it's brilliant.
Yeah,
they absolutely say it's brilliant.
Maybe they've just recently had a lobotomy or something. I don't know, because I don't know how anybody Like I did a video where I said that there's different types of people who like these things. Like I said, you know, there's people who just can't let go of IP. They said it can't be bad. There's people who are just idiots and they can't discern, you know, bad entertainment. They're just, you know, stupid. And then there's the people who like it because of what it pushes, you know, the agendas and all that kind of stuff. And the only people that I see really praising it is shippers. Do you know what I mean? The kind of people that are shipping, that are like, oh, Sam and Ockham, oh, they're going to be together, or, you know, oh, Jaden's serving all the cake, and all that. That's all they care about. All they care about is the relationships, and the actual romantic relationships were always the least important and the least interesting thing about Star Trek. Always, we never cared. Most of them felt, you know, kind of forced when they did happen. You know, it didn't matter because they all had such deep relationships anyway. You know, you had Riker and Mzadi, and that was kind of a, you know, on and off. Oh, you know, we're just really good friends, beloved. And it's like, yeah, okay, I get that, beloved. That means something that can mean different things to different people. With this, it's just who's shagging who, and apparently the next episode is just full of sex. And I'm just, why? Why have you done this to Star Trek? Of all things, it's just like watching like some crappy school show. There's no intelligence.
I thought there was one original series, or not original series, OG Trek that did the relationship thing well, which was Lessons with Picard and, oh God, I forgot her name now. I thought that was a really nice episode, actually.
Oh yeah, the one where she has to go down to the planet and he
Neither Darrow,
essentially.
Yeah.
I thought that was really well done because they tried to explain that, he's allowed, because he never really allowed himself to, you know, I guess release his feelings for anyone, did he? Because of this position he was in and the way he was. But he allowed it with this woman, and then he suddenly realizes that, my God, one day I might have to send her on a mission, and she might never come back. And I think it was done with such class. See, that to me is a relationship worth exploring, or a possibility of one. What this is just a debacle. I don't even think, I could be wrong again, because I'm not a child anymore. Well, maybe I still am, but a lot of people would say otherwise. But, you know, when I was younger, as I'm trying to put myself back into a youngster's shoes, I don't think I would have liked this. I would have just looked at it and thought, what the hell is this? I would have said, even then, I find this quite insulting. This is a joke.
Absolutely.
This is nothing but a joke. It's almost like they are deliberately, I think I've said this before, DM, on your previous shows, but I don't know whether in the chat or when I was on here, on the panel, but I've said it's almost as if they're deliberately doing it to piss people off. It feels that way.
I genuinely do think this is a big middle finger from the creatives that are there at the moment. I think they know this is the end, and they're just putting everything they can in to own the chuds as it is. And unfortunately, obviously, there are genuine, you know, not very nice people out there who genuinely they're racist or whatever. Those people are always going to exist. But the ones who are suffering are the ones who love Star Trek for what it taught us, for what it said about, you know, about people, about what we could be, about philosophy, and the intelligence that was always inherent in Star Trek. And it never talked down to people. It invited people to come up to its level. But now you have to sink down to a level. You know, it's all bros and dudes and cursing, and it doesn't attain, or it doesn't strive to be anything anymore apart from just content. It is just content now, and I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. I said this might be as bad as Section 31, but I will never watch Section 31 again to make the comparison. So I'm just going to call it a draw.
Nor this episode.
Not this episode. No, never. Once my video goes up, done. Delete. Well, maybe not deleted, because I might need to pull a clip for reference or something, you know. But yeah, I mean, this series will not exist. And I never, ever in all my days thought there would be Star Trek that I just couldn't watch.
No, it was never on the cards, and it was never a possibility for me to think that there was a Star Trek show that I wouldn't like. Yes, it took us a while to get into The Next Generation. Yes, it took us a while to get into Deep Space Nine. There was an adjustment period, but we trusted the creators because of what they'd done before. And certainly with Deep Space Nine, it was this radical new type of Star Trek that was a little bit darker. It still had the morals and the values of the Federation, but it was a juxtaposition between the morals and values of the Federation versus the outer skirts of Federation space, and a hub with all these different species, and very diverse show in terms of Star Trek species, all coming together in one place, and the stories about how they interact with one another. And Star Trek had not done that before. They hadn't had a show based in one location, so it was a big risk. But we trusted the creators. Now, this is my answer to the people who ask the question, or at least make the point that previous Star Trek shows have had a rough start. This is Kurtzman Trek. We gave Discovery a chance. I gave Discovery a chance. I watched the entire first season and I was unimpressed. But I thought, you know what? They're just finding their feet. Let's watch season 2. Gave up halfway through it. Went back to it. Finished it just in time for season 3. Season 3 airs, and boom, that's when my channel starts. Okay, that's when I start reviewing, and it just got more and more painful. And then they released Picard, which again I was excited with the trailer for the first season. And I will just break. Thank you for that super chat, Zell. That is much appreciated, my friend. I didn't actually spot that come up. But thank you very much for that. You're a legend. People supporting this episode of proof that we should reopen the asylums. Yeah, and don't talk to me about Section 31.
Can we put Kurtzman and Tawny Newsom in there first, please?
Yeah, I think they deserve to go in first to check the weight. If you are watching the stream and you're enjoying it, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new here. Which I just on the back of this review, I think I've gained about 40 subs, which is pretty amazing for one video. It's the most subs I've ever got for one video. So thank you to everybody and welcome to the community. Yes, so there was Picard, and I was really interested with the trailer. The trailer really sold it for me. I thought, this is going to be really good. Watched Picard, and hell in a handbasket, I hated it. It was awful. Yep. Then Picard season 2. Yeah, anti-Trek. Then Picard season 2. Then Picard season 3 kind of took us in a different direction, which was fine. And you had shows like Lower Decks, which I'm not a massive fan of. I know there are fans of it because, and especially yourself, Al, you just think of it as it's a spoof, which is fine.
Yeah, it's like a holodeck program to me. It's not real Star Trek, so I can just dismiss it.
Absolutely.
The thing I like about Lower Decks is it does feel like there's some affection in it. Yeah, it's crude, it's stupid, it's Rick and Morty, but there's some really deep cuts in there that show me that somebody who worked on it cares about it.
Yeah, there's
I haven't watched last season, but I didn't mind it. But this is saying it's Star Trek. This is saying this happened, and this is saying it's 1,000 years in the future. And I'm like,
no. And this is my point. We based on experience, especially with Strange New Worlds, based on experience, they always try the hook to grab us, and then they slam our faces into the concrete, and that's what they've done. And this show is just the latest iteration of this absolute crap that Kurtzman is glitter puking out, and we'll get to that later on.
Yes, quite. Do you remember that first episode of Picard season 2?
Oh, incredible!
Episode I thought was amazing.
Yeah, we thought, they've course corrected. It's absolute. Brilliant. And Maro Bot has just super chatted $40. So thank you very much. Not going to be out super chatted by Zell for sure. Not my watch. Maro, I hope you got your car sorted from last week. I believe it was you who had the car issue. And thank you so much for that very generous super chat. I'm sorry about my forehead, guys. And Zell responds with, it's not about the size of the super chat, it's how you use it. So how is UKDM going to use it? Probably to buy a high amount of prescription meds.
Headache medication.
Annoying Critic with a super chat. In the future, there's no money, but today Oh, bless you, my friend. You're going to get my forehead again. Thank you so much for the super chats. Very generous, guys. Thank you. Never expected, but always well received. Thank you very much. So yeah, the New Trek has broken our trust far too many times. It's given us nothing but slop. And I did ask this from previous former co-host, the guy, Zell and Watch Nerd. Obviously, I wanted this new format to bring new people in. I asked this question of them: would they be willing, in order to get something like, say, Star Trek Odyssey, which is something that we created on this channel, or a show of that caliber, would you sacrifice the good from New Trek, the not so bad, the Picard season 3s, the, in your case, Al, the Lower Decks, in our case, Guna, the Prodigy series, if you could wipe it all away and start again? Would you make that sacrifice?
Without a second's doubt.
100% I would, yeah.
Because I don't think any of the New Trek has been that good. As much as I tolerate and kind of enjoy Lower Decks, I could do without it. You know, I don't think a Rick and Morty style Star Trek show was ever a good idea, ever. And Picard season 3, some nice nostalgia, some nice character work, but the writing was still garbage at the end of the day. So yeah, without a second's hesitation, I would wipe out all of it. No problem.
As long as we were assured that what we're going to get is going to be, what we're used to back in the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean,
if it was just going to be another rehash, then you think, well, what was the point of that? And it's just wasted everyone's time. But and look, don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed Picard season 3, not the story. I mean, did I mention to you, Dean, or I might put it in the chat, I can't remember, that I am rewatching it, and I still, there's some lovely moments in there. The scene between Picard and Ro, just seeing all these the characters come back. You've got Ro coming back, you've got Shelby coming back. You've just got some really beautiful moments when they're looking at the ships at the museum. That really, oh mate, that gets me every time.
I genuinely thought the character work was very good.
Yeah,
just the plot was garbage.
Yeah, I mean, the story was rubbish, but everything else, and for that, to then say, right, we're going to scrub it and start again. Well, okay, willing to do that, but boy, we got to make sure that we are now coming to an era where it's going to be about Trek again, about proper sci-fi writing, good character development, good stories, and no bloody hidden agendas trying to push this and push that down our throats. Just organic writing that flows. Then,
I just want it to be progressive, not woke, and there is a difference.
And of course, sorry, Al, of course, the most important thing is honouring and respecting legacy.
Hear, hear.
No, completely agree with that one. And yeah, this show, as we've previously said, is a massive middle finger to Star Trek fans, and it's this episode in particular is a prime example of what we would get if there was a Tawny Newsome Star Trek comedy. And I made this point in my video. It is not funny. She is not funny. In order to write a comedy, you need to be funny. And she was not. This was not. None of it. There wasn't a single bit in this episode that I cracked a smile at or even remotely chuckled at. It was horrendously uncomfortable to watch throughout the entire episode. And
I mean, compare this to something like the Magnificent Ferengi.
It is night and day. The Magnificent Ferengi it is my favourite Ferengi episode. It's not a typical Ferengi episode, which is all the profit driven stuff and Ferengi society and culture. It is a story about a bunch of Ferengi that are braver than they look, and somehow managed to fumble their way through a rescue op in the most comedic fashion you'd ever seen. The Magnificent Ferengi is a prime example of a quirky comedy episode done right, because what it manages to do is it manages to keep the drama very real. The stakes are very high. They're still, but the comedy is so intelligently timed that it feels so well balanced. And
Yep.
this failed on so many different levels.
I always thought that was one of the reasons why the Ferengi were absolutely necessary, because Deep Space Nine was a darker show. You know, there was a lot of darkness, and you had the occupation, and none of these things are nice. You know, terrorism, and you know, occupation camps, and you know, the Jem'Hadar are very warlike. And
Yeah.
what the Ferengi did was it meant that you just about managed to be able to put a comedic spin on it every now and again. Like you had the episode with the self-sealing stem bolts, or the episode where Jake's trying to get hold of the card for Cisco, and they just drop one of those in every now and again just to go, right, look, it's not all gloom and doom. This allows us to do the darker storylines because you've got these comedy moments, and it was so well balanced. There's no balance in Star Trek Academy. It's just puerile juvenile nonsense all the time, and I mean all the time. It's just this, yeah, it's crap.
Well, I actually have the screen grabs from the episode itself. I am going to put them up on the screen, so everybody, I assume everybody here has watched it, and if that's the case, I fear for your souls. But if you haven't, let's pull up those screenshots. So you guys will have a little bit of a delay on this, obviously.
I'm waiting for this to destroy.
It's going to be like a Vietnam moment for us, isn't it? It's going to be like, you know,
you weren't there, man. You weren't there.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. Fortunate Son playing and stuff, you know.
So just to catch up on the chat a little bit, hello Matt Ross. If you're not familiar with Matt Ross, check out Yelling at Gashes Anomalies podcast, a fantastic creator. And yeah, hi Matt Ross, it's great to have you here. And Al could, oh sorry, it's not Al, it's AI could vomit a better story. You could probably vomit a better story that won't be full of glitter.
Yeah, I was actually wondering if we could actually fix this story. I think between the three of us, we probably could.
Oh yeah.
It's whether or not we get time to do it. So we'll see how damaged we are after going over the episode.
When we wrote Odyssey, me, Zell, and Watch Nerd, we didn't write it so per se, but we had the rough outline,
concept and everything like that.
10 episodes, yeah. And it was surprisingly easy to do. It wasn't difficult at all. So what are you guys in the chat? Just put your thumbs up, or put something in the chat. Let us know if you want full screen or you want a little window, because I don't want to traumatize people too much.
Well, please not the Sam ones. No, please.
Oh, the full screen Sam.
anything in the bar, I'm just like,
oh boy.
Oh, the bar. We'll get to the bloody bar, I tell you that. And I don't know about you guys, but when I heard about the bar, I was full on expecting a recreation of Quark, and I was hoping they wouldn't.
I didn't expect them to have that kind of imagination. I knew it was just going to be a generic nightclub type thing, and you know, it's one of the biggest things that upsets me about this Star Trek is it doesn't feel like they're trying. It is not. There's nothing futuristic about it. The music is generic, modern day nonsense. The actions are generic, modern day nonsense. The locations are generic, modern day nonsense. I don't know if you saw it, but we had that wheelchair guy again in the background, and he's pulling along on his wheelchair. So they don't even have motorized wheelchairs 1,000 years in the future.
Even Pike had it in the cage, and that was made in 1966 or wherever it was.
Exactly. It's just virtue
60
signaling.
years ago.
Wow.
It's just virtue signaling of the worst possible time, and I have no time for it, and it's only because my reviews are doing well that I am continuing. You know, they're getting, you know, I grabbed a load of subs, and you know, my reviews are being well received. If there was nothing, if it was just flatlined, I would have given up by now and I wouldn't be reviewing it. But for as long as people want the reviews, I will keep making them. But it's bad. It's the worst thing that's ever been made for Star Trek.
Or with a Star Trek name slapped on it.
Yeah.
Which is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it is a skin suit, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's like that Scooby Doo meme. You take off the Star Trek, and underneath is just like, I don't know, Riverdale or 90210 or any one of those
giant turd.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to pull it up. There you go. A story about me. Genuinely, a CBS Studios production gets overwritten in crayon with a story about me, and quite honestly, I thought I'd entered the fucking Twilight Zone with this.
It's the narcissism, isn't it, of the writers just wrote large.
Yeah.
Just writ large. You know, it is just because that's all this episode is about. As I say, the biggest crime is, although I'm happy they didn't bring Cisco or anything like that, they didn't actually solve that problem. It is just all about me. I need to do this. I need to do this. It's not like, oh, I'll solve the problem of the Cisco, you know, to bring some peace to the Bajorans or to do something for society. No, it's for me. It's me, my own needs. I need to do this for me to make me feel good because I feel like I'm an emissary. And that's all Star Trek is now. It's just me.
I did think of one thing that I didn't put in my review, and it's something that just slipped my mind because I got distracted. And it was, you know, Sam's going, I want to learn about the Cisco. I want to learn all there is about the Cisco. It's like, why don't, you know, Mysteries of the Unexplained or whatever the course is, hasn't anyone, I don't know, maybe gone to the Bajoran wormhole and cut the impulse engines and said, Cisco, I need to talk to you? Has nobody done that?
This is the biggest problem I've got with it, yeah? The prophets perceive time in a non-linear way.
Mm-hmm.
And when Cisco speaks to Cassidy, he says, when she goes, like, when will you be back? He goes, it could be years, it could be months, it could be tomorrow. Cisco doesn't need to be missing. They could have just said he came back and he had a happy ever after with Cassidy Yates. Because he could have come back the very next day. The prophets don't perceive time literally. They can time travel. So why have we got all this bollocks about Cisco being missing for 800 years? Why? He doesn't need to. So fucking dumb.
Yeah, well, okay. Here's something that's even more dumb, because you know that they didn't watch any of the previous bloody episodes aside from the finale as sort of research for this episode, because what about Cisco's, I don't know, second child?
Yeah, well, yeah, missing from the family tree.
Yeah, missing from the family tree. You know, Cassidy Yates was pregnant when Cisco, went off to be with the prophets. That's part of the tragedy. That's part of the sorrow that they're supposed to feel. He had another child, but no, they focus on Jake Cisco. And I saw a comment in the chat earlier that people are, Cyril Clofton has put on his own social media, praising this show for how amazing it is for this episode, and it's truly heartwarming and everything like that. I tell you what, if I was Avery Brooks, I'd probably go, the fuck did they just do?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to hold it against Cyril Clofton too much. I don't think he's been acting. I haven't seen him in anything in ever, for a long, long time. So I'm not going to hold it against him too much. It was disappointing. But these people don't know Star. They're actors. They turn up. They do a role. They don't actually care about it. He obviously cares about Avery Brooks, because Avery Brooks was very much like a father to him on the set of Deep Space Nine. That's well known. But I don't think Cyril Clofton has any real interest in Star Trek. He's just an actor. I doubt he really knows what he's talking about. It's just performative platitudes.
Yeah, and probably trying to secure more work.
Potentially. I mean, yeah, I didn't think he was horrible.
No, he wasn't high.
He has acted, but he was all right. I didn't think it was a terrible performance, not compared to Sam anyway.
No. Kuna, what were your first thoughts when you saw the crayon? I really want to know this.
That is gonna. That's going to be my response to absolutely everything you are saying. What can you say? What seriously? You just think that? So do you? I don't know if you guys might be too young, but maybe in the UK, when I was very, very young, in the 1970s, early 70s, there used to be a show called Play School.
Yeah.
And Play School would it would just be for young, very young kids who were in play groups. So anything probably ages from, I don't know, say 2 to 5 or 6 or 7, whatever it was. And I literally thought, is this Play School? Are they going to do the house with the 4 windows and a door?
Yeah.
I absolutely thought that's what we were going to get. And it's just so far removed from absolutely everything I've come to love about the franchise. Everything. You know, we used to get this amazing opening scene, right? You know, I'm reminiscing now, a bit of nostalgia. Used to get this amazing opening scene. Sometimes it would be a bit longer than the others. And then something would happen. It would be like a oh moment, oh my God. And then you get the intro. Just brilliant, with a brilliant intro. And then you'd get into the story. Now we have this thing, whatever it is, approaching the screen going, I'm Sam, it's all about me, with a stupid fucking hair buns. And it just does my absolute nutting. And all this crayons, look what I'm doing, and I'm going to draw pretty little pictures. What shall I use? Shall I use the orange crayon? Shall I use the blue crayon or the red crayon? What do you think?
At that point, you just like, what is the IQ? What is the IQ of the people that you're trying to project it to?
I'm just it's this whole thing is beyond help. It really is. And I don't know whether it was you, Al. Someone alluded to the music. Yeah, it was you, Al. Yeah. Think about that. It's chalk. It's night and day. Chalk and cheese. Look at the lovely classical music that we used to get in OG Trek in the background. Just so sometimes to be fair, sometimes it was a bit too much. I think, shut up now. I want to hear the characters talk. But you'd have it. It'd be there. This, we're just getting all this, whatever this crap is. It's just not fitting. Yeah, it's just not fitting. It doesn't work.
That, Little Stallion or something hasn't turned up on the bloody show to rap out her crap.
It just doesn't work. And I don't know what else to say, but mate, you were angry. I've never seen you. I thought you were going to blow gaskets and whatnot on that.
That video, yeah, man. Your face getting redder and redder and redder.
Seriously concerned about your well-being, mate. You were so vehemently angry. Oh my goodness!
He's got a drink off screen that he can have.
Well, yeah, it wasn't.
So I was just saying, I was actually quite concerned about this show, but you're actually really calm. Yeah, I don't know. Is it the same person? I just want to know.
Well, to be honest,
remarkably calm.
let's just say I think I've developed a bit of a split personality when it comes to reviewing new Trek, simply because I have to go into this mental zone where the fortification is so much stronger.
It's like trauma.
The trauma, and I'm not, I know some YouTubers sort of exaggerate for clicks and whatnot. I'm not exaggerating. And I'm also not exaggerating when I say we have the highest concurrent viewership that we've ever had in 84 episodes of this show. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. That really warms my heart that you're all here. So, yeah, genuinely, this, and I'm not exaggerating, this episode, I was uncomfortable in my seat. I was wrestling in my seat. My fingers started clicking, tensing up. It was incredibly difficult to sit and watch, and it infuriated me. And I think because I film my reviews immediately after watching the episode, it's a visceral reaction. It's very raw. I actually, I think the thing that set me off, because I literally just went straight to the camera and pressed the button, was the Deep Space Nine music at the end. And I thought, yes. And that, I think that's what infuriated me the most. It wasn't, there was a bit of relief that they didn't actually explain what happened to Cisco, because I thought, well, you can't actually do that because you don't know what the hell you're talking about anyway. But it was, and then they said for Avery, and it's like, what do you mean for Avery? What the fuck do you mean for Avery?
It's like
Avery wasn't in it.
with Will Smith and Chris Rock.
That's what I said.
Get that name out of your mouth.
That's exactly what I said on my video. But it's like, what do you mean for Avery? Avery's not even in it, and you used a voiceover from a freaking jazz album. You absolute fucking... It's such a shallow, hollow tribute to Deep Space Nine. Absolutely freaking... And I'm getting fired up again. Old Danger Man's coming out again. I've got to try and
Sorry,
keep
so
it.
I shouldn't have brought it up.
No, mate, no, it's fine.
You were doing so well.
We are literally on the first slide, well, the third slide.
Oh.
Look, the little girl in a dress look. Now, you can't do that in modern times because you can't assume a gender. But there's a little girl in a dress there.
It's not assuming the gender because the Klingon's wearing a dress in this episode.
Oh, no, you're right. Oh, I think I've just dug myself a social hole there. Never mind. Moving on. Carpetless floors. We have carpetless floors, of course, because they've got to see the reflection of absolutely everything. And yeah, Sam's breaking the fourth wall. She's talking to the camera, explaining how amazingly awesome she is, about how she's, you know, a diplomat. She's an emissary, and oh yeah, this is definitely a moment. I'm gonna have to go full screen because you have to appreciate this actor's range of facial movements. There we go. There we have it. She is, yeah, she's wandering the halls and she's bigging herself up. Yeah. She's an emissary. She's a diplomat. She diffuses situations. This is the same character that not 2 episodes ago was licking dirt.
Yep.
I mean...
She absorbs all information immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, and all the dirt immediately as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's inexplicable to me. I did like Disbrew's take on this when he says, "Spot the white guy."
Yes.
Yeah, it's like,
where's Waldo?
Where's Waldo? Yeah. Can you see Waldo now? There we got the Sharon again, who shouldn't be there because they don't know Star Trek. You know, and yeah, more interesting. And yeah, she's still talking to the camera and explaining she is series acclamation mill. Let's reduce it down. There you go. So that's what the SAM stands for, series acclamation mill. And I completely agree with Dave Cullen. Could they not have come up with something better than series acclamation mill?
Isn't it? I mean, I think again that just speaks to the level of intelligence and creativity that they have. You know, there is definitely something you can come up with that is better than that. I think by the end of this episode or this stream, we could have come up with something, you know, better than that. You know. Oh, that's not even the worst face she pulls during the show. Oh. I got some peaches of screen grabs.
I'm sorry, I have to laugh because that's the only way I could deal with it.
When we get to the really juicy stuff, I'll make it really big. But Iro 6758 just said, to be fair, if 2 people are arguing and you walk up to them and lick dirt, they'll probably stop addressing each other for a bit in order to figure out what's wrong with you.
Yeah. Blatantly true.
Oh. And I apologise to you all. My voice is still recovering. It's been 2 weeks of laryngitis hell. I'll tell you that.
Can I just? I don't want to stop the flow, but just
okay.
One quick thing, really quick thing, and then please, because obviously there's a lot to get through.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys, but back in the olden days, I keep referring to. I sound like such an old man now. Yeah. I am, but. Some people were afraid to admit. I mean, I was bullied a lot in school, so it was even worse for me. But to admit that you liked Star Trek, people would. You just didn't say it. You just did not. You'd go along with it. Yeah, it's rubbish, and you just would not admit to anything like that because you'd be branded a nerd and this and and there. It was awful. It would have been an awful thing to do, especially for me in my situation, in my circumstance. But you know what? Coming forward, 50, 60 years, whatever it is, I'm actually now ashamed to admit it now. Again. Honestly, I'm not joking. Not for those reasons. But now, to be associated with this nonsense and this trash, if I said to my mates, "Oh yeah, did you watch Starfleet Academy?" They'd be like, "Are you for serious? Are you real? Be real? Are you?" You know what I mean? I actually now feel embarrassed, but I guess I'm more justified. Whereas before, of course, I was just probably protecting myself from have the shit kicked out of me, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
but that's a different thing.
It was exactly the same for me, my friend. Sorry to interject.
Yeah.
It was exactly the same for me growing up. It was something that you didn't admit. Now, when I got to high school, I had to completely de-Thunderbird myself because I fucking loved Thunderbirds, and I still do. I think it's a fantastic show that was way ahead of its time, and I had to do that because I was going to high school, and it's rough, man. It was rough being a geek back in our day. Me sound so old. And Michelle Fairy Tales, hello. You're a new face, so welcome to the stream. Yeah, absolutely. But now you find that you say, "Oh, I like Star Trek, the older stuff."
Yeah.
Let me just confirm it's the older
It's
stuff.
quite trendy now.
There,
Yeah, that's quite a trendy thing. To like, it's actually quite. It's completely changed.
Yeah.
But to admit that you like this new stuff, no thanks.
Oh God, no way, not a chance. So yeah, serious acclamation Mill. I have no idea. And then she's dancing. They show her dancing. Well, if you can call it dancing, as Disprue said, and this is Disprue's words, not mine. You're pushing the inertial dampers a bit, ain't you?
It was something.
And it's cruel. It's cruel. I think it's funny. I wouldn't say it myself. I was quoting there. But yeah.
It's just everything that it is going for. It is. I mean, honestly, those first 4 minutes was some of the hardest I've ever had to endure for Star Trek. You know, we hadn't even got to anything about Deep Space Nine yet, and I was already on the verge of having an aneurysm just from the immaturity that was being paraded at me. Star Trek has always done funny episodes from time to time, but never anything quite like this. I think like when Emissary was on there and it said equals diplomat equals big job, and I was like, what? Yeah, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was just, yeah. As I said, this doesn't make anybody want to be better or aspire or achieve. Nobody's learning anything from this. It is the square sum of absolutely nothing, and it's just Easter eggs all over the place. Like you'll see here, you've got Hirogen, Kazan Prime, Reza. That's all they know how to do. Is just make little references and write shite.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah, but references without context. If they're supposed to be reaching out to a younger, new generation audience, they're not going to know anything about this. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Not only did they misspell Ferenginar, they misspelled Cassidy later as well. So slow clap.
Oh, this is Tawny Newsom, everyone. This is what we've got.
Yeah,
this is what we've got. So yeah, I've done some adjustments to the frame there, so we can have the best of both worlds. We can have up close and personal with Sam.
Yay!
This is torturous. I'm torturing my my audience now.
You see, the thing that upsets me is we get like new Trek upon new Trek upon new Trek upon new Trek, and we can't get a season 4 of the Orville.
No, and that's, I mean, whatever the reason is for that, it's whatever. You know, I think the 3 seasons of the Orville we got are precious. But I also think that this is what passes for entertainment. And I said this in my video. The guys at Paramount, whoever's in charge, I don't know who's in charge. I don't understand the internal politics of it or the power structure or anything like that. But here's my message to you: shelve it. Stop. Just stop now. Stop.
Batgirl it.
Batgirl it. Get rid of it. Get it out. Get it off screen. Keep on your streaming services, your streaming platform. Keep all the shows. Look at your viewing figures, because they're telling you everything that you need to know. Promote the shit out of and merchandise the shit out of classic OG Star Trek. Break contract with Kurtzman, get rid of him. Get rid of Tawny Newsome. They're not fit for purpose. They're not fit for this show. This franchise needs to stop.
You will make more money out of remastering Deep Space Nine and releasing it on DVD or Blu-ray than you will.
And it will outperform this without effort. And yeah, you bring it back 5 years later, you get science fiction writers in. It doesn't even need to be Star Trek writers, just science fiction writers, and you bring them in, and you hell, even get me on. I'll sort it. Just get some talent in, because right now these people are talentless. You don't even have people proofing the correct spellings of anything to maintain continuity. It's an absolute joke.
Yep. And it's not even just this one episode either, is it? We've spotted a mistake in every single episode that's gone to air.
Yeah.
Like last episode, they screwed up Satie's speech.
Mm-hmm.
How? How did people watch the proofs or the dailies or the takes or whatever and not go, that doesn't make sense? We need to reshoot that so the speech is correct. There's just a lack of care. Nobody cares. Yeah. As long as you've got the representation and the message and the gay profile and the gay characters. And nearly everybody in this is gay. Like the Romulan girl has got a girlfriend in this episode. I don't know if you caught that.
No, I didn't.
They're in the bar. You know the girl with the tattooed face?
Yeah.
Or arm around her.
God.
Everybody's gay. And it's like, don't get me wrong, gay people exist. We know this. And we know that Ira Bear was, one of his regrets was that they never managed to tackle that in Deep Space Nine. And Andrew Robinson said that he played Garak as gay towards Julian Bashir. We know that. And nobody has a problem with it. No. And nobody would have a problem with a gay character. I know they wouldn't. But when it's done like this, it's just like, no.
It's OTT.
You start getting your back up. You start getting your back up.
It's like going from Impulse to Warp 10 immediately, you know?
Yeah.
And rather than turning into lizards, everybody turns into homosexuals.
Well, it's the thing is, it was never the focal point of the story. Okay,
no.
So whenever they handled stuff like this, there was a story to tell. They're not just doing it to show things. There was always a point to it, and there's no point to this whatsoever. And people have the right to choose whatever they want to be. We're not disputing that at all. But when you are forcing this stuff in to make a point, then we are tuning out, because the stuff that is there isn't even worth watching. Anyway, we digress, because Sam's doing a karate chopping right now, and there we have the Klingon in the skirt. Okay, the effeminate Klingon with barely any friggin' presence about him. He's in a skirt.
A non-entity, isn't he?
Non-entity, a robotic non-entity. And for
some
reason,
Alexander's more of a Klingon than Jaden.
Yeah, and for some reason, she's walking through the corridors, and everyone's going friggin' hyperspeed, like it, it's just freaking abstract as hell. It's bizarre, and she's still talking to the camera at this point. This is freaking insane. And along comes the Betazoid simp boy, who literally kneels before her like she's some kind of regal figure, some kind of royalty. And I'm thinking, she's a hologram who 2 episodes ago was licking dirt, and even Genesis says, "You see what I have to deal with." It's like, you're being critical of someone at the same time as denigrating them. You can't even get a bloody message straight, and for some reason there's fireworks going off when they bump forward.
Bumping heads thing, and then fireworks goes off.
The overlays are just ridiculous, and they're pointless, and they don't achieve anything other than infantilizing the audience.
I'm just sitting there at this stage going, what am I watching? Please just tell me what I'm watching, because I don't understand. I don't know what this is, and I can't see any Star Trek yet.
No.
Just juvenile shenanigans. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Emissary. Emissary, diplomat equals big job. Emissary, diplomat. And okay, But was Cisco a diplomat for the Prophets? No, he was born a freaking prophet. At this point, he's what, 1/4 prophet? I mean, god damn. Well, he's half prophet, isn't he? So yeah, she's going through. She's solving everybody's problems with one hit of a button or one action, one motion. You're physical. I'm sorry. Yeah, physical body. She doesn't have a physical body. She's a hologram, and we have no idea from where she's projected. You remember with the Doctor, they made a point that he can't leave the sick bay because there's no projectors anywhere else in the ship. They eventually figure out a way to get him over to the holodeck, and eventually he gets his mobile emitter. In this, the holograms just exist like some kind of self-projecting creature.
Wherever. And they can teleport.
They can teleport instantly.
Yeah.
Which the Doctor could do.
There's no rules.
But,
she's made of light, but she's wearing a jacket.
Yeah.
And then when she goes to the bar, she's like taking off layers and things.
Now, you can, but you can do that because the Doctor had physicality. Otherwise, it'd be a pretty useless Doctor. He'd be more of a...
I don't think he wore clothes. I don't think you could say he presented himself with that uniform on.
Yes, he did, and that's fine. And again, a hologram can punch a character because they have their photons and force fields at the end of the day. They have physicality. So you have to explain the science behind it. Otherwise, people
you need to know what their strength is. For example, we knew how strong Data was.
Yes.
We knew. It was explained to us. It was shown to us many times. She just hits this Romulan. How do we know that she wouldn't have killed her? She wasn't in control.
No, she's drunk.
There's no lessons. She's drunk. She gets in a bar fight, and it's all ha 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 ha. No moment to learn anything.
No.
That tattoo girl's just thrown out of the club again. Ha 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 ha. The episode did nothing. It told us nothing about Sam, about her capabilities. Really about her beliefs and philosophies, just that she wanted to solve the Cisco thing because she thought that because he was an emissary, she was an emissary too.
Yeah.
And just
that was literally the only connection. I can't remember anyone's name. Studmuffin here is going to eat a banana that's going to rot inside his mouth because he's a Kalalian Kukulukadu. I don't know what.
And a Keonian at the same time.
I'm sorry.
I said he's a Keonian and a Kionian at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah, she says it differently. So he's some kind of ritual. I don't really know what's going on. Oh, that's a bloody great still. That's still number one. Fantastic still number one. And they're getting him to eat a banana because he's, I don't know, the food rots in his mouth for some reason that can't
high
be
potassium foods.
High potassium foods. Thank you very much. No word of a freaking lie. He eats it and he pukes up glitter. He pukes up tiny shredded shards of shiny plastic.
Be good for companies that do Christmas cards, though.
Absolutely.
Pay for their glitter, and he'll be just ready there to. Right, I can just put a bit of glue on them. Go on, do the thing. Have a banana.
Very popular
glitter our cards. Glitter our cards. We don't have to spend money on glitter. Be brilliant.
Yeah,
excellent.
The only thing they have to pay for is bananas. Utterly ridiculous. This is Star Trek, everyone. Yeah. This is Star Trek. What the hell is going on? This is supposed to be Star Trek rooted in science. How is this alien throwing up shredded pieces of shiny plastic?
Yep. It's just Fantasyland all of a sudden, isn't it? It's just magic. It's just whatever our juvenile minds want to happen.
And I thought
they throw up glitter, of course they do.
Yeah, exactly. And I thought it was very much my initial thought was the Kingsman, where they, because they can't, they want to get a certain rating, they represent someone's head blowing up, and they use paint or glitter or fireworks or whatever, and it was a very cleverly done scene that was in the Kingsman. I thought it was that. It was just a way to cover up stuff that you really shouldn't be seeing if you want to get a certain rating. But no, it's actually glitter. This species pukes up glitter. I mean, what the frack? Yeah, and then she goes, oh, they throw up glitter. And then we got.
They actually think that the audience are actually loving this, and they're applauding their ingenuity. The other word I can't say it. Ingenuity in terms of coming up with this creative nonsense.
Aren't we so amazing, guys?
This is so funny, and it's so amazing, and it's so colourful, just like my crayons.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and then we got little bubbles, little bubbles we're writing in them. What is love? What is sleep? What is sleep? What is sleep? What the fucking hell do you mean? Yeah, what do you not figured out what sleep is? It's when the brain needs to shut down and get rid of excess toxic chemicals. You freaking moron! What the freaking fracking fuck is going on with fucking Star Trek? This is fucking ridiculous! This is beyond a freaking joke!
Yep.
What is sleep?
Just take that screenshot and just say, look, that's Star Trek. And just, what? I mean, Gene Roddenberry, he's spinning in his grave so far.
Can you imagine what
generator to him and solve the world's energy problems.
Wow.
It's just, what? No, it's not even being explored in a sensible way. Like, Data, again, looked at sleep. He looked at dreams.
Yep.
It was all done intelligently.
He performed experiments on time.
Exactly. He turned off his clock and all sorts of things.
Yep.
And, he experimented with love as a relationship. With, what's her name? I can't remember her name now.
Yeah.
Jenna something, I think. And it's just... This is none of it. This is none of it. It's just... it's not quite anti-Trek because it's not doom, gloom and misery, but it's anti-Trek as in every single ethos and intelligent concept in Star Trek is absent here.
Utterly absent.
It's not there.
Oh my God, there's another one. Why do you get hungry? I am absolutely... Oh, fracking hell. Why do you get hungry? Oh, gee, I don't know. Maybe it's because you are running out of fuel and it makes you tired. So you have to get
amazed
something...
you didn't put hangry on there.
Jesus.
It
was hangry in the future. Yeah, absolutely. Absolute joke. What an absolute bag of crap. And for what is it with the android eyes? Man, seriously. Guys, what do you think android eyes?
She's made of light. Why does she have mechanical eyes?
Exactly. What the...
It's just another way of trying to make her look a little bit more sophisticated, and maybe look at this amazing effects we're using to make her look cool. That's all it is.
It is.
Sorry,
all
mate.
They did.
Yeah, Discord. Sorry, Al. Discord's got a delay, mate. You're gonna have to take your time a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
It's all right, mate.
Yeah, look how blurry it is. So what they did was they zoomed in on the still they had, made it blurry because it wasn't focused, and then put the CGI effects in there and had to make it blurry so it didn't look stupid.
Oh.
Why is it blurry? This is basic TV production.
Okay.
Why is this a thing?
It can't be. This has got to be some kind of sick dream.
I
think we were asleep. We fell into the Matrix, dude, in 2012. We must have done.
Yeah.
Machines are running us, dude. Seriously.
Someone turned out the Hadron Collider on and it all went wrong.
I swear that Hadron Collider keeps pushing us into parallel universes where things get completely ridiculous. I think that explains the Mandela effect perfectly. You know, they switched on the Large Hadron Collider. We keep slipping into parallel universes every year because the Earth orbits and it goes around, and we slip into a new parallel universe every year where Kurtzman contract gets extended, and this is what we get. And there she is. She's talking Mork and Mindy style. So she's having a little Robin Williams moment where she's talking to people, and we have to have arrows pointing to and explaining to the audience what's going on. So this is me. I am Sam. Sam, I am. And this light here, this is my makers, because we all think you're infantile, juvenile, fucking idiots who can't understand even the most basic of things, but what you do quite often is misunderstand and you mistake us for unintelligent people when actually we are 10 times more intelligent than you. So yeah, they have to put the little drawings on the screen to show you how stupid that you they think you are. And then she's playing the goddamn theremin, which is fine. But at one point in the episode, she was playing the Star Trek theme tune.
Yep.
On the theremin.
Yep.
What the freaking fuck?
It's just member berries. It's just member berries. That's all it is.
Yeah, they thought, oh, they'll be mad when Paul Giamatti does it. Let's have Sam playing it on a theremin. So yeah, she's playing away on the theremin. And she's talking some nonsense to this instructor person about music and how music is her. She feels the music inside her, probably because she's programmed to, but it doesn't matter. And then she's still talking to people who keep changing colour, by the way. This show's very colourful. It's all the colours of the rainbow, of course. And then
again, they failed to even for 1 second scientifically approach Sam.
Yeah.
You know, she's a brand new life form made of light.
Mm-hmm.
She's awkward and stupid and autistic, because that's the only way they know how to represent it.
Yeah.
You know, and later she's even doing the Rain Man thing of, you know. And I mean, A, that's insulting, but B, from a technological perspective, we know nothing about this life form.
No.
There's no way this would be treated like this in any other series of Star Trek.
Well, what we do know is it's contradictory to itself. So she comes from a race of photonics that were created by organics, because it's all the Kalons, of course. And they were treated as a slave class by the organics. God knows what happened to them. And I swear if they find all their bodies in the cave, I'm going to lose my shit. And she's been sent to determine if Starfleet and humanity is worthy for them to start communicating with them again. And yeah, completely ripped straight from the Orville.
Where have we seen that before, I wonder?
Yeah, it's shocking, isn't it? Not an original bone in the freaking body.
And to make sure that organics aren't still using holograms as servants.
Which they are!
Uh-oh.
Yeah, which you got the fire extinguisher hologram, the hologram that main dude, yeah, he broke. And it's like, okay, so you're not only using them as slaves, you think you look down on them and you break them.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Voyager episode with the holograms that went rogue, the Herosian holograms that went rogue, fighting for their freedom? Yeah. Hello. Mm-hmm. Fucking joke. And you got what did I call him? His name's going to change every single time because I can't even care enough to remember his name. Stud Muffin.
Aaron Ramey.
Yeah, Stud Muffin. So Stud Muffin, he's got a spirit level, a laser level, and he's saying to the War College, "This is our side of the academy, and that is your side of the academy, and you cannot cross the line, because if you do, I'm going to get very cross, and it's against the rules, and it's silly. And you stay on your side, we stay on our side." Utter stupidity.
And cue the dwarf Romulan with her attitude.
Oh, and Tignataro's come in, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, stop being so stupid and ridiculous." You've got War College guy checking out the Klingon because he likes this Klingon in a skirt.
Yeah. And then people are like, "Oh, I'm shipping Kyle and Jade, and I can't wait for them to get it on."
Don't care, because I'm sorry, but I push the politics aside, push all the stuff they're trying to push it to one side for a minute. It's still a piss poorly written show, and that's what I tried to get across in my reviews, because I don't cover this stuff because it's just not worth the arguments. You get gaslit all the time, and it's utterly ridiculous, and there's just no point. What fundamentally at the baseline, doesn't matter if you make the Klingon gay, it breaks canon, it breaks the Klingons, and it destroys them, and that's the approach that I come from. It's not you can't make a character gay, it's that it's so against the Klingon way.
Imagine if he was, gay. Would there be gay Klingons? It's a completely different species. We can't say. We can't say for sure that homosexuality is confined to just humans. This is just a melting pot of everything. Everybody can be everything. But why not have him be a gay Klingon, but still be a Klingon? Still 100%. Be fierce.
Yeah.
Still be driven by honor. Still be violent. Wouldn't that be something to see a Klingon wrestle with that, and maybe feel that being gay would dishonor him? But no, he's just, I'm super gay and feminine.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
There's no depth to it.
Think about the Krays. One of them was gay, wasn't they? And but he was one of the most violent men ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So just because you're gay doesn't mean you have to be effeminate and oh god, oh there's a spider in my bath. Oh please. Oh please. Exactly. I'm a Klingon, but there's a spider in my bath. Could someone save me?
You see, what I think it is, I think it's an agenda to take the most masculine of all races, which the Klingons were. They are pure masculinity distilled into a race. They fight, they drink, they go around being belligerent, all that kind of stuff. So I think Starfleet Academy is nothing less than an attempt to take that and then subvert it by feminizing the Klingons.
You're absolutely.
And in fact, I bet on it. Are you all right there?
No.
This is why I come on this screen, because I love to see you crack up.
He's sucking on a jumping stick.
Yeah. Member. Oh, it's so pathetic.
Oh, this is hilarious. You enjoying that jumping stick, my friend? Oh,
and laugh, you cry.
Oh god! And I thought the jumping stick was a hard rock candy, basically. But no, it's apparently quite jelly-like. So, Sam, sorry guys, I don't mean to be juvenile, but hey, the show's juvenile, so what do we care?
You cannot be as juvenile as this show, so don't worry about it. It's just fine. You could literally be doing shadow puppets on the wall of punching Judy, and it wouldn't be as juvenile as this show is. So
no, it's very true. Very true. Okay, so Sam's going on about love, desire, and dilated pupils and dilated jumping sticks. He's oh god, this was just ridiculous. So increased blood flow to several parts of the body, and there's an arrow pointing down to
talk about juvenile.
Yeah.
And penis is crossed out.
Yeah. And this
Star Trek!
This is Star Trek. This is what Star Trek is now. Unbelievable. And then you got whatever that. It's an Orion character, and he's staring at her who gives
He's
a flying
yeah,
fuck?
he's smelling. She's saying, "Oh, you're why don't you just have sex with each other? Like just ask each other to have sex. I can smell your pheromones." And then he comes over and gives him a sniff.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
Caleb's like, "Oh, get the hell out of my face!" And I'm sure.
Sorry, this is Tawny Newsome. Her writing in a style of her in inverted commas comedy is very much like you're at a social function, a gathering, and you've got the female equivalent of Uncle Knobhead there, cracking jokes, thinking I'm hilarious. That's the first thing you should know about me, guys. I'm so funny, and that is what she is to Star Trek. And everyone's uncomfortable. Everyone thinks, will you just shut the fuck up? Or she's the annoying sod in the cinema on her phone, laughing and joking and everything. And everyone's saying, will you shut the fuck up?
I mean, I literally knew without even looking at the credits that she'd written this episode.
Yeah.
Because I knew she was a writer on this series.
Yeah.
And I just knew this was her. And apparently it's somebody else as well who actually write. So I don't know what happened to them, but this has just got Tawny Newsome all over it. Because this is just lower decks in live action. That's all this is.
What probably happened to them is Tawny it was all her. It was like, yeah, you're here, your name only, but it's going to be me. Just the way she's portraying Sam, me. You're actually talking about yourself there, Tawny, because you're an egotistical so-and-so.
Absolutely. Made herself Dax. Spoilers. Sorry. And also made herself her own name, an admiral on the legacy wall. It says Admiral Tawny Newsome. How much more up your own arse can you get? I detest it. It's the opposite of what Star Trek is about, because Star Trek is not about narcissism. No. Star Trek is about the common good and coming together. But these people don't understand that because it's all me, my special.
In all honesty, Star Trek has always been humble enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Orion guy sniffing. Okay, so big words in big floating words. That's what we want. Confronting the unexplainable, which is this show, which is what we're doing now. This is what this session is. It's confronting the unexplainable.
The unendurable, maybe.
Oh, well, does that as well, my friend. And she's having this conversation. She has this conversation with her people. And it's like time stops, so she's processing it. It's their representation of her processing it instantly, except it's not really that obvious. That's what she's doing, nor is it explained that specifically what she's doing. So she's going to the wall of member berries, and on this wall of member berries, let's see. Shall we zoom in and let's see if we can?
There was a lot of them. Yeah, there was a
lot of references. It's not too clear, to be fair. I don't have the highest res of screenshots, but they're not bad, to be fair. I did see, so what we got there.
So you've got the Omega particle there.
Yeah, you've got effects of the galactic barrier. Okay, so a 5 reference there. You've got the, what's that from the original series? The Gateway. It's the Edith Keeler in it.
Guardian, I think it's called.
The Guardian. That's the thank you. My brain doesn't work now and then. Usually when I do my reviews.
I was going to say this episode doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. I feel the IQ dropping.
Brain damage.
And she spots the fate of Benjamin Sisko, emissary of the prophets, and she goes, emissary. That's the same word that I used to describe myself. So if I solve this mystery, I will be an emissary just like Benjamin Sisko.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's genuinely, I'm not lying. That is
the extent of her connection.
Yeah, that's it.
Again, more narcissism. It's just...
It's Greg VFX1 is apparently 30 minutes behind SAM's spectrally aligned mass. Unreal. So yeah, she's fascinated, and in comes Tawny Twat, and that's what I refer to.
There's no male professors in this academy.
No, there can't be, and the only male in any position of power is a humiliation ritual. Because we can't have men teaching kids anything, can we?
No, 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 no.
No. She's saying, "Oh, I really want to join this course, but it's mid-semester, and I'm not sure I can. But can I please?" And Tawny's going, "No, you're not going to understand it." And she's actually right there, because no one understands anything in this show. And she's trying to be. She's so smug. Look at her face. She's so smug. She's like, "Oh yeah, I'm Grand Supreme Master of Star Trek now. I am an expert in all things Star Trek. I am amazing."
My biggest fear is if they got rid of Kurtzman, they would replace him with her.
I think she would single-handedly be responsible for approximately 300,000 YouTube careers being launched.
Yeah.
No one
can I ask you? Let me put that to you, DM. If she did do that, if she took over, would you carry on watching Star Trek? Because I wouldn't. That's when I would draw that is 100%. I would stop dead. There's no chance I'm watching her Trek.
Well,
she's meant to be making a comedy series, isn't she?
Well, I'm not watching that.
That's it or not, I don't know.
That's not watching that.
That's for Danger Man to do. Go balls deep.
Yeah.
No, in order, you have to ask this question. If you're going to ask that question, you have to ask this question prior. Why do I watch new Trek? Well, morbid curiosity is one. Okay, it is morbid curiosity, and there is something. I like to keep. I like to know my enemy, and I like to keep my enemies closer than my friends, because it's always good to know what the other side is doing. Secondly, I do it for YouTube. Okay, so I do YouTube for fun. I'm not a professional YouTuber. For all of you, who are new to the channel, by the way, if you haven't liked the stream already and you are enjoying it, hit that like button. That does help the channel, and be sure to share this stream far and wide. I do YouTube for a bit of fun, a bit of experience, I've gained a lot of knowledge in terms of video editing, and it's enriched my life because I've met so many wonderful people through YouTube. So I don't review the new Trek shows for the fun, for simply fun. I do it to try and build up my experience in many areas, and I get to have a bit of a laugh and occasionally have a mental breakdown. If Tawny Newsome took over Star Trek and was like the sole supreme new space Jesus, I'd have to wait up. If my audience wanted me to do it, I would do it, but I don't think I'd be happy to do it. And if I wasn't doing YouTube, I wouldn't be watching any of this crap.
No, yeah, that goes without saying, I think. I would have completely sworn off of Kurtzman Trek if I wasn't actively doing YouTube and reviewing the episodes and stuff like that, and needing to be aware of what's going on, with it for the cultural debate of how much they've buggered up this beloved series of ours. Those are the only reasons that I carry on watching. That's for sure.
Well, if I wasn't enjoying this, I'd be like you guys in the chat. I'd be watching some YouTuber. I'd be watching Open Bar, The Drinker, Dave Cullen, Nitpicking Nerd. I'd be watching all of those and just going, "My God, look at the state of it. It's terrible." And I'd be
experience it vicariously. It's the
exactly.
Best way.
yeah, and that's what I. It's a great question, Guna. Would I do it? I don't know. I honestly don't. I don't know if there's. I don't know. I can't answer.
No, I was just curious. I think I understand why you do it, and I'm glad you do, because look, you may be a part of this, and I'm always honored to come on. If I'm not on, I've always been honored to participate in the chat, and it's good. It's still good escapism, even if it's for the wrong reasons, if that makes any sense, because I'm getting to know this community, and you a lot are just full of wonderful people. We're all of the same mindset, generally, in terms of what we feel about this aberration that is new Trek, and we can chat about it and voice our concerns and our feelings as to why has this happened to something we've loved and cherished for so many years, and it's just gone down the pan. But it was just a curious question, and simply because the level of this episode, I mean, it's just so incredibly bad that it's a taster of what kind of stuff she would air or produce. And this is why I was asking, because I, as I said, it took me literally every 3 minutes I was having to turn off. I just couldn't do it. I kept having to turn off because I turned off again the glitter thing. I thought, why am I watching this? Why am I watching this? Why? Then you know, the crayon shit, and then arrows trying to, you know, like we're so stupid. We need to be told where to look, and that's what that means. No, because you're trying to. It's so patronizing. Tawny Newsom comes across to me as a patronizing, egotistical, big-headed narcissist. She portrays that through Mariner. That's why I couldn't stand the character Mariner, and I knew I would dislike the actress. The same with Space Jesus, the stupid woman that portrays her. I couldn't stand her in The Walking Dead. When I found out she was going to be the lead for Star Trek Discovery, it broke my heart, because at the time I did not know what Discovery was going to be about. I thought, yes, Star Trek is back. I can't wait. Then I found out that she was going to be the lead, and it just broke my heart, because I knew right from the off I'm going to dislike her. But I watched it because I thought I'll try and work, you know, kind of train my mind to work around her parts of it. But she was everywhere. She was solving everything. It was all about her. I don't see any difference. I can't differentiate. Sorry, Al. I can't differentiate between Tawny Newsom and the woman that plays Space Jesus. I like neither their characters, and I dislike the actresses as well. That's the reason why I asked the question.
I mean, I gave up with Discovery after season 3. I think it was. I was just like, yeah, this is not going to get better, because it always, you know, it was like season 1, okay, could be rough. Season 2, that was interesting. We had a bit of Pike. I mean, all right, yeah, the Red Angel, that bollocks, and that's when she became Space Jesus. And then it's like, oh, right, they're off to the future. Oh, maybe they'll do something interesting with it now. No. And they've just failed every single time to do anything interesting with this franchise. And now they're just carrying on that Discovery timeline, and they're still failing to do anything interesting in it, because it's 1,000 years in the future, and they still don't seem to be able to represent that in any single way. The pads they have are more primitive than the pads they had in the Next Generation.
Yeah. Speaking of,
look at this.
This may as well be a pop-up book.
Yeah, it's a kid's book. Okay.
Yeah, it's a kid's book.
Bajoran child's book explaining the emissary of the prophets.
But what this whole sequence is very, very, very clumsy exposition. And Krag, the Klingon, who I refuse to call Jaden, Krag, although to be fair, he doesn't deserve a Klingon name, but I will call him Krag because I can't bear Jaden. Even asks a line to set up another load of exposition.
Yeah.
He's like, define prophet to me, just so she can talk about what happened with the prophets. It's so badly written.
The Klingons had gods, man.
Yeah, it's just, he was talking about Kalis in the last bloody episode.
Oh boy, yeah, and I don't know. You know, I think if you're going to draw a picture of Cisco, perhaps you put the 4 captains' pips on it, not 3 commanders' pips. You could probably say they're going around his neck, but come on, you know. They probably thought, it's Commander Cisco. No, he was captain. He was a commander like everyone else, but he is a captain. Anyway, we're still on the kids' picture book, and she's explaining it to the other kids through a kids' picture book, not like historical archives, not through holodeck programs, or I don't know, even a moving visual display. A child's book, because she's probably got the mind of a child anyway, considering she's only a few months old. But you can program a crapping hologram to any age you bloody want. Why would you send this to
exactly? If this is your emissary, why is this your emissary?
Why don't you just send someone with some experience and say, I'd like to enroll in Starfleet Academy. I know I'm like 60 years old, but I don't appear to be 60 years old. I appear to be a teenager, but I'm 60 years old. I've got some knowledge. I want to see what you as a school have to offer and what you're teaching your young. Perhaps that would give us some insight into, I don't know, what kind of people you are. Fucking absolutely stupid.
not even that. I mean, why would you go to an academy to learn about humans?
Ooh.
They're not even in their final form. These are developing humans.
Yeah.
You're not going to find out anything about organics or their potential. You're going to get a load of randy teenagers running around with their hormones on fire.
Yeah.
So why would you go to the academy? It's brain dead.
Yeah, as is right as this show. Anyway, the cadets, the friends, the Scooby Gang, they basically say to her, "You do know there's a Bajoran club."
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a Bajoran club now. Can you be in the Bajoran club if you aren't Bajoran? And if you are Bajoran, does that automatically mean you're in the Bajoran club? How about, I don't know, the Prophets Club? How about, I don't know, the Bajoran Appreciation Society? Why is it just called the Bajoran Club? And it's only got Bajorans in it. I don't understand. Moving on. And yeah,
Asian Bajorans.
yes.
When did Bajor have an Asia?
I don't know. And also, the guy feels for her pa, even though she's a hologram, she doesn't have a pa.
Sorry, I have to step in there.
Yep.
That was my other next turning off moment.
Mm-hmm.
You're a hologram. How do you have a pa?
Yeah.
Immediately they did this. I thought, why even? He could have touched the ear and said, "Oh, I can't feel anything." So he could have asked about her. He could have asked. Then she could have said, "Well, actually, I'm a hologram or a photogenic, whatever they refer to, whatever they call themselves."
Yeah.
At least that would have been a little bit more, some structure. There would have been something that you're not insulting our intelligence again. But you're writing this, and you're just expecting the viewer to accept it, to say, "Oh yeah, he can sense her power. It's good. Oh, please."
You can sense her force field.
And not only that, this scene, they're actually having I don't know what they're doing. They're in some kind of there's a ceremony or there's some religious thing that they're doing.
One of them's meditating or something like that.
Yeah.
Complete utter disrespect. If she's supposed to be a hologram that can eat up information immediately, if she's 1,000 years in the future, she should be so much more advanced than Data. And do you remember how many trillions of computations he could do every second, right? So she should be able to understand immediately that I have to show some respect here. I've got to respect whatever they're doing here and not be a complete arse.
Oh, but you don't understand, Guna. She's neurodivergent. This is the neurodivergent representation, which I, as an autistic person, fucking hate.
Mm-hmm.
But no, look, she's all awkward and doesn't understand social situations and says rude things. And then later you'll see her bang her head because the noise is too much. It's insulting. It's patronising and it's insulting. But they'll keep doing it.
Yeah.
All the representation's got to be in there. All the representation apart from intelligent, capable white men. That's not allowed.
Yeah. I don't think it works. If you're bothered about representation more than you are story, you're going to fail. You're going to fail because you're telling a story, for God's sake.
Yeah. And that's why we get what we get here. You know, why do we have people in wheelchairs 1,000 years in the future? Mm-hmm. Why do we have people with autism 1,000 years in the future?
Why do we have people wearing glasses?
Why do we have people wearing glasses 1,000 years in the future? Why do we have cafe coffee baristas 1,000 years in the future that just looks like Starbucks?
Yeah.
Why haven't they got footwear so that she can still wear it, but feels as if she hasn't got any footwear?
Well, anything.
Yeah, she can feel that. Yeah, look, I've actually got footwear on, but I'm not feeling it. I feel like I'm still walking my bare feet because actually it does. It's just completely. She's putting her feet. Then she's back to her usual. I can't sit down properly again in this episode.
Yeah,
and she's got feet everywhere, and it's like, for me, if you're a commanding officer, I would look at you. Say if I was a new recruit and this is my commanding, and she's sprawled all over the sofa with her feet everywhere. I don't think I could really take her seriously.
It's not commanding respect, is it?
It doesn't matter what bloody century it's in.
Yeah. I mean, but the thing is, again, she's kooky. That's her character. She's kooky because she's a Lanthanite. And that's as far as they go. They're just like, that's her character. Off you go, Holly.
She's Pelia version 2. And yeah, well, okay, so she's just insulted the Bajorans. She's been very culturally insensitive. And she's sent to the Dean's office. And the Dean says, oh, yeah, you did that. And yeah, carry on.
Yep. And that's fine. You just carry on.
You carry on because you're on a magical journey. I don't.
Not even berated. Not even berated for a second.
Literally, affirmed and encouraged.
Yes, exactly. The complete opposite of what you would expect. So how can anyone learn? How can anyone learn anything?
You've insulted them. Carry on. It is
I think the first thing you should do is go and fucking apologise.
Yes. And say, look, I'm sorry. I'm about 2 months old. I'm just trying to, my programmers didn't really do a very good job with them programming me.
Clearly, yeah. The programmers forgot to put the common sense algorithms in my matrix.
Yeah, I'm missing several key algorithms. Okay. So we're on to pointless plot B. Okay.
Oh, the humiliation ritual.
We're not there yet. We're getting there. She goes to visit him. Yeah, it starts here, and he's heating the ocean so that a visiting alien species.
Go back one. She shouts out his name. It says chime on the door. She doesn't even have the grace to use the doorbell.
No.
She just stands there and bellows out his name.
Yeah. And he's trying to heat the ocean for some fire eels that this alien species is bringing because they're coming for a diplomatic visit or first contact or whatever. I don't care.
It's her security.
It's her
security. Sorry to interrupt. Apparently we're frozen. Stephen's just said that we're frozen.
Are we frozen? Oh, okay. Yeah, I apologise. That's Discord playing up again. I assume it will catch up. But to be honest with you, as long as we're coming through audio, are we coming through the audio? We should be. You guys are still coming through, aren't you? Yeah, that's fine. We're still here. We've got audio. As long as we've got audio, just stick it in the chat and we'll carry on. Discord throws a wobbly on this thing anyway. I thought I'd fixed it, but apparently I haven't. That's fine. We'll just go to full screen captions here, as long as you can still hear us. So yeah, he's trying to heat up the ocean, and she's going, why are you so stupid? Why are you trying to heat up the ocean? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? You are such an absolute fool. And they're not frozen. You've slipped into this floating water. Yeah, and she's just saying, that's so stupid. You're so stupid. And he goes, don't call me stupid. I'm actually really clever. I'm really intelligent. And she's lounging about, of course, because that's what she does. And this entire subplot is pointless. It brings nothing to an episode that already brings nothing. So ultimately, not even the B plot salvages this episode whatsoever. Yes, because it gives you a brief reprieve. Excuse me. Well, if you remember the DS9 episode, Treachery, Faith, and the Great River. So that's the episode where O'Brien needs a part. He can't get the part, so he sends Nog off. But that is the B plot, because the main plot is Weyoun defecting. And both of those stories were really interesting, because I thought the O'Brien thing was quite funny, really. Because every time you got it cut back to O'Brien, he was suffering more the way O'Brien needs to suffer. And he was getting more and more further deeper into trouble, especially when the captain's desk goes and stuff like that. It was really funny. It supported the episode. It's like a support act. It bolsters the episode and bolsters the main plot. This did nothing. Nothing. It's not only a humiliation ritual for whatever the twat's name is. I don't know. I don't care. It's not only a humiliation ritual for him, it's a humiliation ritual for Robert Picardo. And Robert Picardo, I thought, was an intelligent human being. He can't even see that he's the butt of a fucking joke. He's Tawny Newsom's plaything. And, yeah. Yeah. Well, it'd be really interesting if they gave him an episode, because I don't think they will. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, it's all right, mate. I was just gonna say I think I saw him in Young Sheldon for a few episodes, and that's the last I saw of him. Genesis. Oh, Laura, yeah.
Character. We know
nothing. There's no depth in any of these characters.
You
None
know?
at all. Do you know what? You mentioned subplots. I bet your bottom dollar that you could go back and watch any OG Trek and just focus on the subplot, and even that is 100 times more superior than anything New Trek has given us.
Completely agree. Completely agree with you, Guna. Right, we got to a crux point here, and again, Stalazon, welcome. I've been seeing your comments. I just wanted to say hello, and yeah, it's great to have you, Tim de Hoog.
I'm not convinced Star Trek Legacy would have been great, but I would have much rather they gave it a go than this.
If it was under Metalis, then I would have trusted him more than these hacks.
Exactly, yeah. I still don't think it'd be great because I don't think Picard Season 3, the writing was good at all. But
no.
I would have liked to have seen him give it a go because he genuinely cared and you could tell he cared.
Can I just add something to that? I think with him it was a bit of a difficult situation because I think he was trying to do a love letter to the fans and add a story to it. I think that's quite difficult. If he then just focused on a series, I'm not saying it would happen for sure, but if he just focused on a series where he's now the love letter's done, it's finished, he can just focus on. I think it may be something quite special.
If he had the time.
If he had the time. I think because he was focused on, I need to bring back all the characters. I need to see them all on the bridge of the Enterprise D again, and all of that stuff, and all that good stuff. And it was good stuff. I loved it, to be fair, because of the nostalgia. Story-wise, no, of course not. But if he then just focused on a series where he's just thinking about story writing, to me, there's a good chance because he understands Trek a lot better than what these these guys don't know what Trek is, full stop. But
that's the one thing I will say. He does understand Trek.
Yeah,
he does.
So I think there may have been a better chance of it being good rather than bad. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, absolutely, and yeah, I agree, Gunnar. He would have had more time, and he would have been able to put more focus into the story. I agree that I think Legacy may have worked, and people were hyped for it, but the wrong people were hyped for it. And that's the key takeaway. Now we're at the Cisco museum, Museum of the Cisco. All right, and
did you think that I put in my video? I think this voice of the person doing the museum is Jaden Krag's mother from the last episode.
Really, I didn't pay that much attention. I was too busy biting my own thumb off
Too busy gouging my eyes out.
Yeah.
Event Horizon style.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, they got Cisco's uniform there. Okay. Bit of nostalgia for you. Bit of member berries.
All member
times.
berries. It's all member berries.
Yeah. Well, and you know, we see that he was the Captain Benjamin Sisko, emissary of the prophets, commander of DS9. Or you could just say, I don't know the official name for it, Deep Space Nine. You know, it's a museum.
I don't think they ever referred to it as DS9.
They verbally refer to it, but as DS9, but they don't. It's called Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, but I mean the Federation. I don't remember it ever saying DS9 on like on a schematic or anything like that. Not that I remember. It's been a while. I think I might watch Deep Space Nine again all over again just to cleanse my memory from this.
Oh, we have a super chat from RRTNZ. Hello, my friend. It's good to have you here. Great to see Guna in Admiral Teague's chat yesterday. Hail the Spider Lord. Here's a quid for the Danger Mine.
I had no idea he was in that. I had no idea. It was really nice to see him there. It's brilliant.
Here's a quid for the Danger Man for a pint to drown your sorrows. I don't drink, but I am considering the narcotic side of things, definitely. After that, thank you so much for that generous super chat. That's very kind of you.
Nice one, dude.
Really appreciate that. Yeah, she's in the Cisco Museum, and it's member berry time. Obviously, we've got the uniform, and she's talking to the uniform, and we got the baseball glove. All right, we get in there. Trust me. I'm like, I feel like I'm saying hold.
Yeah.
So we've got the card from in the cards. We've got the baseball and the ball, a baseball glove, sorry, and the hat. Yay, he likes baseball, and that's all fair and well, you know. Of course, most obvious thing. Now, I want to talk about this. We mentioned
I'd love to
this.
buy one of those Space9 baseball hats. I wonder if they make them.
We did have a look, because I was looking for an NX01 one, which is what I used to wear on my streams. But Benny Russell's typewriter
shouldn't exist.
Shouldn't exist. No physicality whatsoever. It was a prophet's vision. It was a fucking prophet's vision. There's no physicality whatsoever.
And all this is people. They've basically gone to the list of top Star Trek episodes, and they've gone, you know, far beyond the stars.
Yes.
Far beyond the stars. Yeah, that comes up top. Right, what can we take from that? Here's a member berry typewriter. Boom, done. And they've not paid attention to the fact that it wasn't corporeal, it didn't exist, that it was all a vision, because they just don't care that much.
They don't care. They don't care. They don't care enough to do the research. They go, oh yeah, that's the Cisco thing. It's not a Cisco thing. It's a Benny Russell thing. The Benny Russell visions were a gift from the prophets to write Cisco's state of mind, to remind
and again,
him.
Just thinking about that episode and comparing it to this episode makes me unfathomably sad.
Yes.
That this is how far it's fallen.
Yeah.
You know?
And then we got the orb. No idea what orb it is, because they don't care enough to think about it. They just go, oh yeah, that orbs. They're orbs, because the orbs were in Deep Space Nine, weren't they? Is it the orb of the prophets, the orb of the emissary, the orb of time?
This was really offensive to me. I'm sorry.
Go on, Guna. Get it out.
It's supposed to be a sacred artifact. It's supposed to be something sacred. Now, look, if it's a facsimile, okay, that's fine. But they don't. They don't explain it. They could have said this is just facsimile. But if it's a real orb, what the hell is it just doing there for anyone to walk up to it, open it up, and touch it?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
No, they said it was a hologram. I think they said because you can pull the museum to you. So she's not at the museum. It's virtual reality type thing. But they said this is an actual orb
orb
So
left,
so it is actually there. The Bajorans
Wow.
gave an orb away.
Wow, that's
apparently.
rubbish.
Yeah, apparently. I find that very unlikely.
I find it extremely unlikely that would ever happen.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, can I go back?
yeah,
to
of
the
course.
first
Sorry,
episode?
sorry, yeah.
No. I'm just trying now from what you just said. I'm just bouncing off that.
Yeah.
Was it the first episode where he has to be? You have to be a select type of person. In this case, they believed Cisco was the emissary.
Mm-hmm.
Because I remember the first Kai, the very first one, not the one that was a villain, but the first one she was very. I loved that actress. I actually liked the actress. She was very warm. She had a mother-like figure about her. She was very warm, and her interaction with Avery Brooks was fascinating to me. It was really very well done, and very gentle kind of person, calm. You felt it through the screen. It was unbelievable the way she did it.
I actually thought they killed her off too early.
Yeah, I did as well, and I'm sure the dialogue between the two of them, it was an understanding that not anybody can go and open one of these things and peer into it and embrace it. So if this is a real orb, this absolutely shocks me to death. I can't get my head around it, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, right? Well, actually, I'm not surprised because it's such a dumb show. But even those just one or two details, just respect original Trek just once in your miserable lives.
Just no
once.
respect. There's no reverence. There's only irreverence
and honor, and at least then us older fans or fans of the original shows can say, well, all right, at least they did that. No, not even that. Not even that.
Nope. It's just. Ha ha ha, teen humour, millennial dialogue, ha ha ha. And then at the end, we'll put a bit of feelings so we can say that it's Star Trek.
And why the hell did the orb switch off?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, why?
Why did it go dark?
She's standing there going, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." I'm just like,
oh,
shut
no.
Please, just shut up.
How about Sir? How about Sir?
Yeah.
I just,
How about God?
How about Sam just disappears forever?
Computer end
Seriously,
program.
nothing against the actress. Maybe she's a lovely girl, but this character is just bullshit.
Well, she can't act. She can't call herself an actress because she can't act.
I have decided after this episode that she can't act at all. But
my God, I was browsing through. It's on your timeline on YouTube. If you've seen something like this, you'll get lots of recommendations. I've clicked on one because I was just doing the watch it up or something. I can't remember. This guy, she's an amazing actress. I really like what they've done with this episode. This was a middle-aged guy. He was probably our age, maybe even my age. I don't know. Yeah. And I was shocked. I was thinking, can you not discern between what is and what was, mate? Are you that? Mm-hmm. Look, if you love it, all power to you. I respect that. I don't understand it, but I respect it. But to sit there and say all this, all the graffiti coming up, it was so well done, and Sam, what a likable character, but what a great actress, what range she's got. And I'm listening to this, and I turned it off. I said, "Are you for real, mate?" And he must have been in his 50s, at least, this guy. So it wasn't a youngster.
I don't think there's. I mean, let's face it. Star Trek has never really had a history of having amazing actors all the way through. I mean, there's been good actors. We've had some great actors, but very rarely do we get like amazing performances from everybody. Patrick Stewart was probably the best when it came to the acting side of things. I'll never forget Family. I will never forget the way he breaks down in Family. It's incredible. But I don't think there's any great actors in this, or even very good actors in this at all.
Well, I have to say,
I think they're okay, but I don't think there's any good.
I have to say, I kind of disagree with you on the quality of the actors that they brought in. The guest actors, I think, were superb in original Star Trek. If you really, your James Sloyans, your Jeffrey Combs, your David Warners,
main cast. Main cast.
Oh, main cast.
Forrest Kelly had some experience, and Patrick Stewart was the first time we got a proper thespian, for example.
Yeah, Shakespearean, and it did. Yeah, it was. But then you just encourage more actors to come on. I'm not
Yeah.
getting any of that from this. Yeah, you're quite right.
No.
I agree with you there. You're not getting any real seasoned professional actors coming into this show.
No.
They're all just they're all just in a playpen.
Yeah. I think Picardo could do it because he is a good actor, but he's certainly not being given the material to do so. As you say, he's just the butt of the joke or the conveyor of the joke.
Yeah.
And that's all.
He's the court jester. That's all
Yeah.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he literally is. That's exactly how he feels. He's brought in for entertainment purposes only, and he's not entertaining.
No, he's not.
So we got Cyril Lofton. He's back. I think he's more Cyril Lofton than Jake. If I'm being honest, it just felt like Cyril Lofton was there. And don't get me wrong, it was still nice for him to come in and come back to something with a Star Trek face on it. But I just think it's one of those another one of those wasted opportunities. It's wasted on these people. They shouldn't, Picardo shouldn't be there, and nor should Jake Sisko.
He's been brought in to lend a false authenticity towards the show.
Yeah.
Right. That is exactly right, Al. And you know what? I again go back, and I can't help it. And I'm sorry if I'm sound like a broken record, guys. So apologies in advance for that. But I have to keep comparing to going back and how I felt. If this had been original Trek, and you'd gone back and say it's not necessarily have to be Jake, but another. So I'll give you an example. When you see Scotty appear in the episode Relics,
Yeah.
and they do the transporter and he appears, and that moment you're like, oh my god, oh wow, and then he enters the old bridge via the hologram, and all of this, it hits you so hard. It hits you so hard. Now I fast forward to this episode. In that same vein, you would expect, you're seeing a character from 30 years ago now, DS9, maybe more, probably more now. And it should hit you. You're like, oh, wow, it's Jake. Unbelievable. It's like, I can't believe it. Do you know the response I had? Absolutely none. And that's not a discredit to Jake or Cyril Lofton. It's because of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm so peed off with this show as it is. To me, I'm like, so what? And it shouldn't be that way. And it's a disservice to him as an actor, in my eyes. That's how I felt.
I was blackpilled on this show after like 5-10 minutes. I was like, there's no way this comes back. Seeing what kind of show they were going to present, I knew there was going to be nothing of substance here, and it just wasn't going to do anything because they're not interested in that. All they were interested in is if we can put Deep Space Nine into this, which is obviously a beloved show, then that will add authenticity and affirmation to this Star Trek, because we referenced the good Star Trek, because all Star Trek knows how to do now is reference itself.
Yeah, and you're quite right. I remember seeing Leonard Nimoy in The Next Generation going absolutely nuts. It was an event. It was a remarkable calendar event. Leonard Nimoy is coming back as Spock in The Next Generation. Incredible, and I absolutely loved Unification Part 1 and 2. It was phenomenal, and it was a real ceremonial thing. This and even Picard, when they brought Picard back, it was vacuous, hollow, empty. Zell, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Another £5 super chat. Sorry, I disappeared for a bit. Had a phone call. Here's some shekels to make up for it. Maybe you don't have to make up for anything. People pop in and out of the stream all the time. Record viewership on this stream for a live figure. So that's really awesome. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. William Shatner was classically trained Shakespearean actor.
He didn't. I know he had his own style on the original series. I genuinely believe that William Shatner's best bit of acting in Star Trek was Star Trek 3.
Yes, the scene on the bridge. Yeah,
that really was good acting. Unfortunately, other than that, I think he tended to do his kind of overacting thing a little bit.
Which I think
seemed like when Picard does his speech to the Ferengi, to the Guana, That was that's what Shatner kind of felt like to me. But don't get me wrong, Shatner's still king.
Yeah.
He is king. There's no two ways about it.
Shatner's got real acting chops. He
He has
really
got
does.
acting chops. I just don't think he really showed it.
But I think he's a victim of parody as well. Because especially in the original series, he did overact, and he can ham it up. We know he can ham it up. But you think of the likes of Jim Carrey and Ace Ventura. That was a really hammy. There's someone on the wing. That sort of. It really has done him no favors. But in some ways, I say it's done him no favors. To be honest with you, it really has made him a living legend.
It's iconic, isn't it? I mean, people tend to over-exaggerate it because when you watch him, the pauses aren't that long. There is pauses. He does put the Shatner pauses there, the Shatner comma, as I use when I write. I don't use the Oxford comma. I use the Shatner comma. But it's not as much. The parodies, as you say, were very over the top, and maybe there's a little bit of sort of a Mandela effect there, where it makes you think that he actually was like that. He wasn't, but he was overacting, and it was really nice to see him in Search for Spock dial it all the way back down. And
I think a lot of the people that do the impressions of him are first and foremost Star Trek fans.
Mm-hmm.
Oh God,
I think they're doing it as a almost like endearingly, and almost as a compliment. And I think he takes it like as such as well. And just to add about him, I mean, my goodness me, he's 95, 96. Look at the man. He's still writing. He's still active. He's an abomination of his age. It's incredible. He could quite easily. I mean, I wouldn't want him to, especially in the way Trek has gone. But if Trek had taken a different direction and it was still very, very good quality, I wouldn't be amiss to seeing him cameo in somewhere, just pop up one. Just again, what I just said about the way Jake's made an appearance. If suddenly we saw that with Shatner, even if it was just for 4 or 5 minutes or even a couple of minutes, it would blow my mind. But it just doesn't with this now. It just doesn't. The effect is not the same. But yeah, he's a remarkable man. I think he's an incredible man. The way he's defied age, it's unbelievable. Actually, when you think
it is mad, isn't it? When you look at him and then you look at somebody like George Takei, who's 6 years younger, wizened old man. And Shatner, just as I say, I don't know if it's
even Patrick Stewart. As I said, I was watching Picard. Now, it didn't register so much the first time because I suppose I was just engaged with the show, especially for season 3. But when I've been rewatching season 3 again, and I was thinking about how he was in the the next gen of the original 7 seasons, the command and authority he had, my God, was incredible. It really was. Anywhere he was a presence. Whether he was in his ready room, whether he was on the bridge, whether he was under attack by an alien species, whatever it was, the command he had. And then I look at him, how he was in Picard season 3. It's just not there. His voice is gone. It's just shadow of a man, which is a shame. Now, I would say, if Shatner was to have done something like that, I don't think you would have seen much differentiation from his original series in the 60s to what he would have done in a new show. I really don't. I think that's the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think that. I mean, if people get old, I get it. Like your voice starts to, Shatner doesn't seem to have.
Yeah, of course.
Your voice does, start to crack and all that kind of stuff. I've seen many metal vocalists over the years start to lose their voice a little bit. And Picard did put everything into that last engage he gave when they all got back on the bridge, and that was lovely to hear. But he I think Picard did more damage to the character of Captain Picard than anybody could have imagined.
Yeah.
Well, okay, I want to change that slightly. Patrick Stewart did more damage to Picard than.
But then obviously he was a creative on Picard. But I mean the series itself.
Oh, the series.
It gave him mummy issues. It gave him trauma. It made him a sad old man who just apologized for existing.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Exactly,
I apologise to every single Romulan. It was completely my fault, even though I threw my career away, and for some reason they allowed me to. I'm so sorry. It's the Picard apology tour.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ridiculous.
Was. People fighting him all the time and putting him down. He had no backbone, no spine. There was nothing, and I really do think that it's damaged the character beyond repair. Because I mean, even when you ask people what their favourite captain is these days, it used to be Picard.
Yeah, it did.
It's never at the top now.
No.
And I think he's fucked up his character.
Oh, I completely agree. Now, just getting back to this, did you guys understand the tomato at all? Look, I completely missed why is she eating.
No, I wasn't interested.
The tomato argument.
No.
Basically, it's whether or not he put tomatoes into the jambalaya he made, or gumbo he made, and the rumor was that he grew tomatoes in his quarters. If you weren't so totally brain dead from the shite that's been pushed into your face, you would have made the connection that she's Dax.
Yeah.
But because only she could know that. And she says things like, "Oh, you know, I used to have this recipe at his father's kitchen," and she says things like that. But because at this point you're just completely destroyed by what you've witnessed, it completely goes over your head, so nobody noticed it.
And she eats the raw tomato.
And she just eats the tomato because random. And because then Sam can go, "Oh, I don't eat food, but that just seems wrong." All right, yeah, whatever. I just don't care. Get your new Trek vocabulary and crap and shite away from me. There's nothing here. This is a nothing episode. That's one of the worst things about it is it just wastes our time for an hour and insults what we love in the process.
Yeah, it does. It does. Thanks for that explanation. It was sorely needed because I'm just too thick to understand these awesome writers and their.
They're just too subtle, you know.
Yeah, completely went over my head. Oh yeah. I mean, was there any reference to Sisko putting tomato in the jambalaya during DS9?
Not that I recall.
No, no. So again, it's completely ridiculous. Just
there were some home cooking episodes, but I just don't recall. I mean, I don't remember because obviously we had episodes that were set in Joseph's kitchen as well.
Mm.
You know, in his restaurant.
Gareth McKee, tomato because she is Dax and is showing she knows him. How stupid are you? I'm really stupid. I'm really quite dumb. This is great TV. Just stop watching, you sad people. Oh,
how is it great TV?
Yeah, I he might be being sarcastic. If you're being sarcastic, that's fantastic. But if you're not, then yeah, good luck.
Well, I would invite a comment as to what he thinks is great about it. What part of the writing he thinks really works.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was vacuous crap.
Yeah, same here. The Knill's just lapping up the jambalaya.
My mouth is on fire and I never want it to end.
I think you need to see a doctor for that, mate. So they're eating the gumbo and the jambalaya, and then the main guy decides to try. Decides he can hack into Sam, and he gives her purple hair. Yeah, fun.
That's funny. And then he gives her a giant scarf because that's funny.
Yeah. Look, that's hilarious. I'm laughing so hard. It's really funny. And he keeps making all these silly mistakes, and then she gets music in her head, and she can't get it out, and then he keeps making more mistakes and puts more music into her head, and she eventually stops. And that whole scene is pointless. It's ridiculous. The whole thing is ridiculous. It's fun. It's funny. It's fresh. It's not a repeat of the old stuff. Oh well, you like it, pal, hey, it is fun. It's been fun. It's been fun and enraging to review it as well. But if you like it and it's fun, it's fresh, and it's not a repeat of the old stuff, if that's what you want, that's absolutely fine. We like the old stuff here, and this is just vacuous, hollow detritus. It is.
I mean, I do prefer things that are intelligently written.
Yes.
Everything has its goofy episode from now and again, but
yeah.
I mean, This has got a fart joke in it, and I'm just.
Yeah, it's got morning wood joke as well, which we'll get to.
And a morning, yeah, exactly, and a morning wood joke. I'm just like,
yeah,
this is meant to be 1,000, and this is the thing. This is meant to be 1,000 years in the future.
Yeah.
The year 30, the 32nd century, and they have absolutely failed in every single metric to convince me of that.
Yeah.
And that it just falls apart there, if nothing else. You know, nothing about this, not the sensibilities, not the attitudes, not the language, not the technology, nothing tries to convince me that it is 1,000 years in the future. Nothing.
And I will say, I mean, if you like the show, that's absolutely fine. That's all good. But I think asking people if they're idiots, I think it is disingenuous. I don't think it's very cool. And I get quite a lot of comments berating me for my opinion. So we don't berate people for their opinion. If we say, oh, if you enjoy it, you enjoy it, that's absolutely fine. I'm telling you, I don't enjoy it, and this is the reason why. You want to come up with a counter argument, come up with a counter argument. But don't ask people if they're stupid. You know, it's. I mean,
so Gareth, she said, give me the metrics. Okay, so production. In this episode, I've pointed out that she says Kionian 2 different ways, 2 sentences after each other. They didn't catch it. They let it go all the way through. The editing's bad.
The presentation is juvenile.
In actual fact. The camera angles, the presentation, the music, none of it makes sense.
Older Star Trek.
The writing is garbage. They put Benny Russell's typewriter in the museum, and it technically doesn't exist.
Older Star Trek is written for adults and accessible for children. That's how we got into it. It's written for adults, and it elevates a child. It elevates a child's intelligence to that of an adult, and it doesn't talk down to him. This show talks down to him.
At the age of 8, I was watching Star Trek: Next Generation when it first started. At the age of 8. Now, I didn't understand all of it. Of course, I didn't understand all of it. Anything I didn't understand, my father would explain to me. But I learned things by watching Star Trek Next Generation, and at the same time I got great moral lessons, great lessons about culture and philosophy, and I reached up to understand Star Trek. It made me better. This doesn't make anybody better.
No, it doesn't improve
anybody.
No one grows. No one's character develops at all.
No one develops. They just keep doing it. It is just like school drama with a Star Trek skin suit on, and it's so upsetting to see, because we've seen what Star Trek can be, and Star Trek Academy could have been good. It could have been good. Look at the episode. Is it the Final Duty?
Yeah.
Where they do the Koval starburst maneuver?
No, that's the first duty. Yeah, first duty.
First duty.
Yeah, first duty. Yeah.
First duty. Yeah, where Nick Locarno tries to do the gets is it Josh? I think it's Joshua, to try and do the Koval starburst maneuver, and it all goes wrong, and they're all covering up for each other. You know, take that and make a series of that. Now that's a series about Starfleet Academy.
Yeah.
In this, there is no Star Trek. They explore nothing. They discover nothing. There are no aliens, because every single alien on this show is just a human. They speak like a human.
Yeah.
They act like a human.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right.
There's no identity.
Was that Tom Paris' clone in that, wasn't it?
Sorry?
Was that the one with Tom Paris' clone in it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
I mean, it was going to be Nick Locarno on Voyager.
It was, yeah.
That's it, yeah.
Didn't want to pay royalties. Can you guys just manage the stream for a sec? I'll be right back. Talk amongst yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, I understand there are people out there not naive to it, not deluded, that are going to like New Trek in all its guise, and you know, as I said, respect to them. That's fine. That's absolutely fine. But then, the way I respect their opinion, I expect mine to be respected too. And my opinion of it is it's all nonsense. It
Yeah,
doesn't resonate. It doesn't resonate. And I would never go on anyone's channel and someone who's liking it, I would choose just not to watch. If it was all very pro New Trek, I'd just think, well, all right, fine, you love it, great. There's nothing I really can add here. I'm not going to argue with you. I certainly wouldn't go on there and call them stupid or say this or that. I just wouldn't berate them. It's not right. It's not fair. I think we've got to be, we can have a civilized conversation about things and put forward a good argument. I don't think sitting there, taking chunks out of each other is the way to have
it's not the
a
Star Trek
discussion.
way, that's for sure. It's not the Star Trek way. The Star Trek way would be to have discourse and get common understanding.
Exactly
so,
that.
Gareth says, for example, TNG was shit, as was DS9. What was shit about them?
Yeah, that's right. Have a conversation.
Are you very young? Do they just seem very old and dated to you? Yeah. Is that a chat? I mean, are you, I'm not assuming or insulting or anything. Are you 12, 13? Is it just not of your time? Because I could accept that. But to say that they're worse written than this show is abjectly incorrect. Those shows did more in 45 minutes than this manages in an hour. I mean, the subplot does more. Every plot does more than this manages in an hour. So I don't know how you can say that TNG and DS9 are shit. I don't understand that. That's some kind I don't understand. First season, yeah, I mean, that was pretty rough. But some of the episodes of TNG rated amongst the finest episodes of Star Trek ever made. And the same goes for Deep Space Nine. So I would challenge that, I suppose. But as I say, you might just be of a very different mind. Maybe you're a lot younger than us. And you just don't... I'm not going to say you don't get it, but you just don't relate to things of that time. I could understand that. Or, as PJ Diablo says, you might just be a massive troll.
it's possible. At the end of the day, I welcome all opinions on this channel, and I always have. And you got every right to your opinion. But unfortunately, I don't really take kindly to hostility. We're breaking down possibly one of the worst Star Trek, because that's what it's called. If it was just generic sci-fi show, okay, we wouldn't be here. But it's got a Star Trek label on it, and we hold it to a higher standard. And it's like, great literature of the past. It's got some great stories and some great quality to it. And if you try to reimagine it in a modern sense, with a modern style of writing, it loses so much in the translation, and it just ceases to be what it was before. So this is exactly the same thing. This is Star Trek made by people who don't know what Star Trek is, have never known what Star Trek is, don't care what Star Trek is, and want to push an agenda. This is their own words, not ours. Now, they also have nothing to do with previous Star Trek, and anyone that has had something to do with previous iterations of Star Trek have been summarily ejected from any future Star Trek projects. Okay, so we are so Star Trek has been essentially split down the middle to the old stuff, the original series, TNG, DS9, Voyager, Enterprise, and the 10 movies, and now a modern iteration of it written by people who had practically no involvement and don't even understand what it is. And you can say, well, TNG and DS9 were shit. Coming from a modern perspective, perhaps they are, but it just means you don't appreciate them. You appreciate the new stuff. We appreciate the old stuff, not the new stuff. It's just the way it is. Anyway, we've got to crack on. We've got to crack on because we've got a blobfish and a fart joke, and this absolutely pointless, ridiculous, absolute goes nowhere like the rest of the episode. Seen in this freaking episode of Star Trek. Humiliation ritual.
Random.
Absolutely. And and they're all just having a play act, and I don't even know why Tig Notaro is there. Jet Reno, because why is she even a Starfleet officer? at this point, because they're practicing. They're doing a dry run of a dinner, yeah, and she's absolutely refusing to go along with it. So I'm sorry, you should be ordered to, because you're in a military organization, and you should be ordered to. You absolute fucking morons. And the doctors, this is the doctor's pretty much, aside from a sick bay scene, this is his only scene. And it's just the abject humiliation of the white guy, of course, naturally. And he's in charge, but he's not in charge. He's not in charge of anything. And, oh God, this it's just talking about it, droning on about this absolutely useless.
Again, it's all played for. The beats are all comedic. Oh, it's the gig. Oh, the spoons have got holes in them. Oh, we've got to hold up. Oh, so random. The closest that proper Star Trek ever got to this was, you remember when Picard had to wear that weird bead thing on his head at the start of Insurrection? That was the closest they ever got. This just goes full on. Oh, lol, so random, so funny, because because reasons. So yeah, the spoons have got all cranky handles and holes in them because that's funny.
Yeah.
Not that it says anything about a culture or the way they think or the way that they exist or anything like that. No, just because it's funny. They speak through horns. Why? Because it's funny. And because Tig Notaro can do her bit. As she says, she's a one-woman ensemble.
Starfleet is not military. I do apologise. It's the play group of the Federation, isn't it? It's the military.
It's been this top 10 in a few years.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're done with that. Guys, are fucking top 10 in a few years. Top 10 of what? Anyway, yeah, enough. Enough.
On that,
we ain't playing anymore, mate. We ain't playing anymore. All right.
Yeah. Moving on. So we've got the silly scene that shows us absolutely nothing apart from the fact that they're just humiliating Krellick at every single opportunity.
You still get points for remembering his name, because I don't remember anyone's name because they're not on screen long enough.
I spent a lot of time on IMDb during my reviews to look at writers and stuff, so they're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah, a lot of. Oh my God, there's so many screenshots. I apologise for this, but let's move on a bit quicker. Oh, the nightclub! We have arrived at the nightclub.
Oh no!
Yeah.
This is maximum. This was the maximum kind of they're not trying moment. Like this is. This is all they wanted to do, was show this kind of teenage frat party and have a fight. Again, nothing is learned in this entire sequence. This entire wasted sequence. Nothing is learned.
No.
Apart from drag queens still exist. And Kyle really likes their jackets.
It's so ridiculous. Everything's so colourful as well. Neons all over the place. Everything's neons and LEDs. What the hell? The future's freaking not bright.
The future is, isn't it? I mean, And again, it is very different to what we've been presented in things like Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, and The Next Generation. Those kind of things are going to change, especially as they get a chance to use CGI and all that. I get that. But the verisimilitude, thank you, is absent. Because again, how is this a foul? Look at the bar. 10 Forward looked more futuristic.
Yeah. 10 Forward's amazing.
This could just be a place that I can go to now.
Yeah.
In 2026. There's nothing. There's nothing on the tables. There's nothing on the bar. There is nothing there. They may as well have a bowl of fucking peanuts on the bar, because there is nothing about this that is 1,000 years in the future.
And this is the thing. They've gone to this bar because this bar is called the Academy. For God's sake. And it used to be, or there used to be standing building in the same area. Used to be the bar that Cisco went to
arm wrestle the Vulcan.
Yeah, to arm wrestle the Vulcan, and that's when he. It's confusing as to why they're there. It's she says, oh, she wanted to, channel Cisco. It's like, why? Where you want to channel Cisco? Go to freaking Deep Space Nine. Go to Bajor. Go to Bajor. Go to the wormhole.
Yeah, apparently Bajor is only like 15 hours away, so why don't you go to Bajor?
Yeah, exactly. Special
we don't
request.
know if Deep Space Nine still exists, to be fair, but again, budget. They haven't got any budget.
Zell, on second thoughts, let's not go to Starfleet Academy. It is a silly place.
Unfortunately, when it comes to the ships now, we can't say it's only a model.
It's only a model? No, they're not. They're not. Yeah. Look. There you go. Sorry. Science. Because the science in this is not science, it's magic. Yeah, screenshot. Go on, Guna.
Yeah, sorry, you mentioned about 10 forward and how you prefer to be there and how much better that looks. Also, if you think about the bridges, if you look at the bridges of the old ships and the new, right? I mean, I remember there was an exhibition many years ago. Again, it might have been the 90s in London, and they did they rebuilt the next gen bridge there. So they brought all the the famous costumes. Some of them were worth so much money, and they had all the artifacts on show. I can't remember. If I can remember what it's called, I'll drop it in Discord. But then you had an opportunity to go into the this room where they had recreated the entire Enterprise D bridge, like literally, bit by bit, the whole thing. And unfortunately, you weren't allowed to take cameras in there. You weren't allowed to take pictures. We went into this thing, and it was just unbelievable to just try and understand what the actors were seeing when they were doing their thing. It was such a lovely moment. And if someone said to me, "Oh, there's an exhibition, and they're going to have," I don't even know what this ship's called, by the way. I don't even care.
The
Combat
Athena, yeah.
Oh, Athena, right. Oh, this. I'll say, and what? I'd rather look at the paint cracks, the cracks in my walls, and study them. Actually, see, that's the difference.
Yeah. That is the most ridiculous looking Vulcan I've ever seen, by the way. Absolutely unreal. And so they get Sam drunk. We really lost the story here, but it's fine because it's just
there's very little story to have.
Very little story to lose. It's kind of like losing a speck of dust. Oh shit! I've lost my speck of dust.
I mean, they've got so little budget that they haven't even got a casual uniform for the War College, so they have to wear exactly the same thing that they wear in every other episode. They've literally gone out in them uniforms.
Yeah. Can't go in any clothes. No, absolutely not. So yeah, they go and lead boy, he gets Sam drunk by programming her to be drunk because she can't get drunk unless she's programmed to be drunk.
And she's just like, 12 shots. Doesn't do what a sensible learning system would do and go, let's try a couple. Let's try a couple more. No, because I'm crazy. And
yes.
And these two are together. See, told you. Look at the arm. And Kyle loves their jackets. And later you'll see that if you look at the shots, you can see that Derham's getting jealous of Kyle and Krag because that's what Star Trek is now.
Love triangle, another love triangle coming up.
Love triangles and relationships.
It's funny, he's involved in two, isn't he?
I mean, I think he's bisexual or something.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing is, we're talking about sexualities, yeah? We're talking about a future where we've discovered, and I'm pretty sure she says earlier in the episode, 4,260-something races, intelligent races. I think sexuality is out the window. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if people are shagging aliens, we don't need to worry about gay and bi and trans. We don't need to worry about any of that shit because, again, this is 1,000 years in the future. They don't exist anymore. I'm sorry for raising my... It's like racism didn't exist in Star Trek. It was gone. We had moved past it. All new Star Trek can do is drag the future here. Old Star Trek took us and put us in the future. It took us there. It showed us what things could be like. All new Star Trek does is grab the future and just bring it here and put modern day in it. And I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of it. All this stuff shouldn't exist 1,000 years in the future. Where's the Enlightenment? Why haven't we moved on as a species?
Well, we've reverted. So we moved on as a species in Star Trek. We got rid of war, hunger. Yeah, we got rid of war, hunger, poverty, disease. We became a spacefaring civilization. We built a vast federation that was destroyed by a child having a hissy fit on a dilithium planet, and we reverted. We reverted, and we start with this new Star Trek. The aliens, as you said earlier, the aliens aren't aliens. They're just humans in makeup. The characters are just humans in makeup. There's a Ferengi in this bar. I'd be quite interested to know where Ferengis are 1,000 years in the future. Nope. No spoken dialogue. They're just there as set pieces, nothing more. And all the different species. This cast is just way too big. It's way too big. You've got too many. It's like they introduced. You remember in the first episode they introduced the bridge crew, who we haven't really seen much of since. It's like, why are you even bothering to introduce them then? It's like you want us to care, but we don't, because you've got no focus. It's just a bunch of stuff happens because the plot needs it to. Where's the structured story? And I'm sorry if people think that a classic Star Trek is boring, then that's absolutely fine. Go ahead. That's what you think what you want to think. But classic Star Trek, it made you think. It didn't tell you what to think, or it unlike this, you don't have to think when you're watching. It's just bright colours.
It invited you to think. That was the difference. It said, here's a scenario, and if you want to think about this, and if you want to dwell upon this and have some kind of discourse, we fully invite you to do so. It encouraged thinking. It encouraged you to be better. Again, I just don't see it here.
Yeah, and what I mean by that, what I mean by this, all the aliens are humans in makeup, is they behave like humans. They just behave like humans. That's all it is. They behave like humans. They use human language, human colloquialisms, and human. They behave just like humans. They don't have any special characteristics. You look at the alien species in classic Trek, for example. The Ferengis, they were devious, they were greedy, they were scheming, plotting. You look at the Romulans, they were, the Ferengi were
underhanded.
They were underhanded. Yeah, exactly. Untrustworthy. Yeah, absolutely. You look at the Klingons, they were proud, they were warriors, they were. Yeah, exactly. And Vulcans, cold, calculating, logical, but they still had a personality. The new Trek aliens don't have that. Nope. They don't have that.
What's different? Genesis is a Darsha. What's different? What's different about her? She's got these things.
Yeah, exactly.
What's alien about her? Come on, one thing. What's alien about her?
Yeah. And every alien species that you encounter in the Star Trek had different cultural characteristics. None of these do. They are literally just human beings in makeup.
Because all these people know how to write is themselves.
Yeah.
They don't know how to put themselves in the view of another culture. And that's one of the things that, in my opinion, Next Generation did brilliant work for the Klingons and great work for the Romulans, and the Ferengi didn't do so well. And then Deep Space Nine picked it up and gave us some really good Ferengi stuff. And, they haven't always got it right. I thought the Kazon were awful in Voyager. I really didn't think they were a very good race at all. I didn't think they were very well developed. They didn't make much sense that they were these kind of nomads, but they had these massive spaceships and stuff. It was a bit weird. It's a bit like the Packleds. It's like, could have done without that. But these guys, they are just humans. I don't get it. I mean,
and MJ Brandt says, I personally don't have much of an issue with sexuality skirts, but just give me great sci-fi. And it's exactly my point. For All Mankind deals with a lot of quote unquote woke stuff, but it does it in an intelligent way, and it's pivotal to the story, and it advances the story, and people grow and people change.
But because this is written, this is basically, we're now living in an age where people's sexuality or their sexual preferences or whatever, their pronoun, whatever they are that person. That is their identity. That is the most important thing about them. Whereas for me, it's the least important thing about me. It's same as my autism. I don't advertise it. I don't put it in my bio because it's not fucking interesting about me.
Yeah.
I was diagnosed as an adult. I just have to deal with it. I mean, I don't care. I don't. It's not part of my main identity, but it is for these people, and that's why that's all there is here. There is no. I mean, what is Caleb apart from just Space Jesus looking for his? What do we know about him? We don't know anything about him. We don't know anything about any of these people.
None of it's logically thought out either.
None of it's logically explained.
Yeah.
She's meant to be a betazoid. She's just another human.
Yeah.
I think none of it's explained. I think none of these characters, all these characters that we're seeing in the background, we don't get any kind of context about them because the writers are unable to put anything even half intelligent together about them. They can't construct a story about it. They don't know how to write. So all they're focusing on is these bunch of teenagers having teenage angst. And I wouldn't even call it teenage angst because, in my teenage, we were learning and we were growing up and maybe doing stupid things. But this is beyond anything that I can ever recognize, or certainly people that I know might have been doing at that stage. And also remember, this is supposedly, 100 years after the burn. I don't know how many 100 years it is.
150 years
after. Right, whatever it is. So they've come through a time where, it's been a catastrophic era for them. And it takes a long time to recover from something like that, I would say. A long time, right? And you'd think that, all right, even if they're young and they're still having to experience the teenage angst and the teenage years and puberty and adolescence, all the rest of it, you still have got to think that these are particular bunch of people have been chosen for a reason, that, they are very skilled at what they do and they're very disciplined. So it just doesn't make sense. I would expect this maybe if they were showing to having a sub story about maybe their siblings who are acting differently because they're not in the military. But these individuals are in the military. And they're behaving so stupid, and then we as the audience have got to sit there and watch it and see this. This is not development of character at all. There's no development of character. There's no layers to their character. And likewise, if you see all these other aliens in the background, some of them which we are familiar with, we're not getting any background to them, like the Ferengi that you said and all the rest of it, because I just don't think they've got the ability and the nuance to be able to write this kind of stuff and the skill to write it. I think that's why.
I swear the only reason the bar scene exists is to put the groups together. So Kyle and Jaden can get closer, and then we can have Darren getting jealous. Caleb and Sarima can get closer together, and they're doing their thing. I swear that's the only reason it is. It's to develop those relationships. When they all start shagging each other in the next episode, we're not surprised.
Yeah, you're probably right about that. To be quite honest, interesting still there. They're not a great one. Not a great one. So look, they're at a bar. She basically wants to embody Cisco. She thinks she's embodying Cisco by, I don't know, punching someone because Cisco punched someone and
well, it's because he punched Q, isn't it?
He punched Q, yeah. He punched was it Solok, the Vulcan? They got into an arm wrestle.
Yeah,
broke his arm and then punched him. And it's just a reference to that, and it's a poor one. Ridiculous. Oh Christ Almighty! Oh my word! I'm so sorry. I have to apologise for that. Oh my God! It gets worse. It gets so worse. There you go.
And she just starts going like, "Oh wow, aliens!"
Yeah. Wormhole aliens. Oh. And then she dances, and then she there's the Crag. He's dancing with the dude, and then the other dude gets jealous because he says, "Oh, your standards are lowering," and then the Vulcan says, "Oh, no, I believe it is our standards that are lowering," or whatever it is. It's not funny. None of this is funny. It's not a funny episode. Tawny Newsome is a talentless writer, and it is written by Tawny Newsome, and she's just got no talent whatsoever. She's not funny. She's just incredibly useless writer.
Juvenile level humor. You can do humor.
Yeah, of course you can. And that's why Lower Decks worked for her, because it was panned as juvenile humor. Don't get me, we we're not completely joyless. We do find joy in a lot of intelligent stuff. I Gruner and I have watched Pluribus. I can't remember whether you have, Al, or not.
I've seen half of it.
Pluribus has got some absolutely cracking comedy moments in it, but it still manages to maintain a serious tone to it, with characters that are develop. With the character of Carol is developing. For All Mankind's got some great humor in it, some great moments, but it's a mature show. It's grown up. I'm 43, and I prefer mature content. I don't give a shit about these high school kids being all high school kids unless they're actually learning something. If they're behaving like high school kids, I've got no fucking interest in it. Don't slap a Star Trek badge on it and expect me to fucking like it. And even though it's just referential Trek at this point anyway. Sam ends up punching some girl out of the bar, and then the doctor's there to patch them up, because Robert Picardo, that's all he's good for, to bring him in and bring him in to patch them up. And then Sam's still drunk, so Caleb undrunk, sobers her up by pushing a few buttons, which is freaking stupid. Hello, Random Tangent. How are you, my friend? Monty Python Roma. Reference about Romans. This is what we came for. And a super chat from RNTNZ. Thank you very much, sir. I just realised the Starfleet Academy writers were trying to recreate Red Dwarf and failed. Now the only way a hologram behaves makes sense, and Jaden is the cat.
They have referenced Red Dwarf twice.
Funny enough, that was going to be my next credit mashup video. Which I think would be really interesting to make. So yeah, pointless, stupid fight and visit to the nightclub over. Robert Picardo referenced Voyager briefly, and trying to teach us something, but end up teaching her nothing, and we don't learn anything new. Let me just start.
Very vague conversation about loss and dealing with it.
Yeah.
But it's so surface level that either material got cut or it's setting something up for a future episode.
Yeah.
Because it's just said and gone. It's just like, I'm disappointed in you, Sam. And she's like, oh, how do you deal with people like dying? And he's like, you just get over it. And that's it. It's just, so whether we're going to deal, because there has been references to the Doctor being very uncomfortable about being asked in his past, about past people he's known. And I'm wondering if it's going to be addressed at the future. And maybe it is setting it up for that. And maybe I'll still be sane enough to watch it when it happens. But it's very surface level. It is very surface level.
It is. And we get the Morning Wood joke, which is Stephen Colbert saying they're going to take a visit to the woods. If you want to go there, meet up at this time in the morning. If you're interested in some morning wood. I mean, this is Star Trek.
The thing is, on top of that, in the show, he laughs.
Yeah,
so
he laughs.
Leave it. He
does a morning wood.
Little laugh, and I was,
yeah. And Akai is laying down in a freaking elevator, and I mean, I'm sorry, but is that not? And you'll see it in a moment, guys. Is that not the draw me like one of your fucking French girls pose? Jesus Christ, it gets bad. It just gets worse every episode. This just gets worse.
She's kooky, remember? She's kooky. That's her whole character.
Yeah, I think the Lanternites, they need to be shelved as well as a species. We don't care. I'll get to this point of the stream where we don't care. This is the bit we really care about, okay? The Tawny Newsome self-insert. I want to be Dax.
I want to be Dax.
I want to be Dax.
Dax is now a Dax is now very stupid.
Yes.
Because if you look at all of her dialogue throughout this, it's just been the same level dialogue, the same vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
There's been nothing developed about it. I mean, Dax technically can't still be alive. She's well beyond the maximum life stage for a Trill.
Well, for the symbiont,
it's just dishonoring the character yet again, and trying to use it to add a false sense of authenticity to a series that just is just everything about it is just skin deep. Like you just touch it and the facade falls away, and underneath is this generic 2026 school series.
Yeah. She obviously Tawny Newsome, she reveals herself to be the latest iteration of Dax. Whatever, it's not Dax. He ain't touching Dax with a 10-foot pole in this show. It doesn't even come fucking close. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of Jadzia Dax. I actually preferred Ezri Dax as a character, because Jadzia Dax I felt was just too arrogant, but at times. But anyway,
Terry Farrell's my first crush, so I can't.
No, Terry Farrell is a different story altogether.
But I know what you mean. She was very perfect and sort of holier than thou, whereas Ezri was quite flawed. But
yes, I prefer.
To me, she was like the first iteration of Space Jesus. She had the answers to everything. She could solve the problems, and it started really grating on me. I said no, and it put me off her. I mean, I really liked the character at the start, and then they just evolved her into this almost like, and she was almost like patronizing Cisco at times.
Yes.
And I didn't like it. All right, she was calling him old man maybe when they were 1-to-1. That was fair enough, right? But she still is a Starfleet officer, and she still has to have that respect, because he is your commanding officer. It doesn't matter if you're hundreds of years old and you knew him as a different person, or his mentor as a previous version of the host and symbiont. However, when they were on the bridge together and I heard her say "old man," I think that was disrespectful, and she just started grating on me, to be fair. So like you
old
guys,
man.
I think I preferred.
I thought
Cisco said old man because she was Curzon.
Oh, sorry, he called her old man. Sorry,
yeah.
She would refer to him as Benjamin. She wouldn't call him or anything like that. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, I got it wrong around. He would call her old man, fine, but she would always she seemed to refer to him as Benjamin. She never called him commander or captain or sir. And I thought, again, if 1-to-1 may be different dynamic, but in front of others, I found that a little bit strange. But I just felt she just seemed to be a know-it-all as well. So I think I'm like you. I think when Ezri came along, I thought she was a better character.
Much more compelling.
Terry Farrell, beautiful woman, Terry Farrell, but I think I didn't really warm to the character at all, to be fair.
No, and I like the Julian moment, actually, when they're in stuck in the turbo lift together, and he basically calls her out, and he says, "Yeah, look, I stopped chasing you," and she doesn't like it, and he says, "Yeah, I think you enjoyed me chasing you, and you got pissed off when I stopped."
Yeah,
because I stopped chasing.
That.
Yeah, and I liked that moment because it was quite humbling for her. And really, again, just very well written stuff. Jake Sisko saying about his father building a house, and never once references the other Sisko child, because Cassidy was with child. The implications of that, through their negligence in writing, I don't really want to think about. But yeah, it's all about love. Who cares? Let's just get through this, because I'm done. This episode was the worst thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. It's horrible, and it was the most difficult thing to get through. The answer to whatever lesson they're coming. If anyone can tell me what the lesson of this episode was, then yeah, that's absolutely it'd be great. Great to know, because you'd already know so much. Yeah, she reveals she's a Cardassian Trill, which makes no freaking sense either. They always like to mesh up the species in this as well. They mesh the the species together and have a lot of interbreeding species. So she's playing
Everybody's
the
a hybrid.
Hybrid. Everyone's a hybrid. More Mork and Mindy moments. She disconnects herself from the people and goes off on her own because she's special. And,
yeah, she kind
unique.
Well, it doesn't quite flip off, but she disregards her superiors and says, I'm amazing. I know I'm amazing. Cyril Clofton's told me I'm amazing. I don't have to listen to you.
The lesson of the episode is red crayons are better than Greek crayons.
Yeah.
They might taste better, but I'd have to ask the writers of the show to find out.
Yeah, they're all a bit waxy. And then we've got more overlays with musical notes just because it's designed for children and for people. And again, they're really not thinking about it because, as we've always said, Star Trek was accessible to all, and it elevated children and taught children a lot of lessons. This is appealing to no one, even kids ain't watching this.
Well, I wouldn't even let kids watch this.
No, I wouldn't, and not if there's a gratuitous sex scene in the next episode.
Well, I mean, that quite aside, there's just too much. I mean, there wasn't any swearing really in this episode, and I'll give it that teeny bit of credit. But the first couple of episodes are full of so much swearing. I wouldn't let kids watch that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe teens. Yeah, I mean, like teens don't care if it, But this was the joy of Star Trek. It had moved beyond that. There was no cursing or vocabulary that was horrible like that. There was no invectives, which is why when Kirk goes back to 1986, he's like, "Oh, double dumbass on you." He doesn't know what to say.
Yeah.
That's right.
We've moved past it, and New Trek has just slipped. And as soon as she said to Picard, "Sheer fucking hubris," I was like, "Oh, we're in so much trouble."
Yeah, this is not good. And at the end, they have the thank you, Avery. Thank you.
Yeah,
Avery.
I mean, they reused one of his jazz poems and cut it up, from what I understand.
Thank you, Avery, for not appearing in the episode, us not having to pay you, and thank you for allowing us
and
to
a facsimile of his face in the clouds, which was shit.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it looks more like.
See that? Can we go back one? I actually missed that.
To be honest.
Oh no way! I missed that. I missed that more review as well.
Where are we going back to, gents?
Oh, sorry, just back
Clouds.
one
Cloud
screen.
scene.
Oh, one screen.
Yeah, to the clouds, the previous screenshot.
Okay.
There's supposed to be a facsimile of his face in the clouds, so he's like saying, "Yes, hello, Sam. I hear you."
I don't see it in this one. Hold on, let me zoom out. Let's see. I might be too zoomed in. Let's say, oh, hello. It's my wall background. I missed that.
Yeah, so I can't see it on the screen at the moment.
I can't see it.
No.
I mean, if it is there, it's not obvious, which I'll give him credit for. But
it's up for me. That's what I'm saying. It's definitely something is there.
The
stream that I was on yesterday, we could see it. A lot of I thought it looked more like Jake, and someone agreed with me. He said, "Yeah, I thought that as well." But there is something. Hang on. Yeah, it's not panned in the right area at the moment.
No.
But it is there. I'll try and put it on this. Oh, hang on. You could be getting there now. If you just go down a bit, look. If you look kind of in the middle, but towards just towards the right a little bit, and it's kind of see the sun or the moon.
Yeah.
You kind of go diagonally up and to the right, so northeast.
Yeah.
That you can see almost like a picture, like a face with like a beard.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, you're going to be a little bit behind. I'll be scooting. So yeah, let me center that.
Yeah.
It's
there, and I think that looks more like Jake actually.
Yeah, it does. If you squint, that looks like more like Jake. Oh my god, I didn't. Yeah, how would you
mean
spot
like the
that?
beard bit's down by the building, and then the face is in between that and the clouds?
No, if I'll literally centralize it, you'll get caught up in a minute because you can't see what I'm seeing at the minute.
Okay.
So you'll see it. It's almost So
if
you look,
yes, I do see it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Oh my god. It's just That's just.
No, that
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That is utterly stupid.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
That is so bad, so stupid.
So basically, they're affirming that yes, Cisco has been hearing her and approves of everything she's done. Oh, piss off! Just piss off!
Oh man, that's disappointing. I mean, not that I could be much more disappointed by this episode, but
let's
block
that
I
shit.
see it. I totally see it now.
Yeah, that's horrendous. I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just horrendous. What a load of crap.
Yep, 100%.
Singularly, the worst episode of anything that has the title Star Trek.
Nonsense. In a few years, it'll be top 10. We was told so.
Sorry, that was a troll. I don't care.
I don't know.
If it was, the thing is, it's very easy to say it's a troll, but there are people out there with that mentality, and it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely fine if that's someone's opinion. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah, but don't berate other people's opinions.
Exactly, and don't call them idiots. I mean, I was called an ass clown in one of my comments on the review that I did, and that's fine. You want to call me an ass clown? That's fine. You don't like what I do, move on. And I said this in my video. There's plenty of YouTubers that will be ripping this to pieces, and there's going to be YouTubers that are going to be praising the hell out of this show. You just watch what you want to watch. But we reviewing something that is branded Star Trek. My channel is UKDM or UK Danger Man Reviews. That's my brand. Okay. If people want to come and criticize me because I've changed my opinion, I'll have a conversation with you, 100%. But I'm not a multi-million-dollar project. This is brand. You've got millions and millions and millions of people who are into this franchise and have been since its inception, since it's the very beginning. You've got people that like the original series, but don't like Deep Space Nine, Next Generation onwards. I've got a mate of mine who loves the original series and Next Generation, but will not entertain the Deep Space Nine, Voyager, or Enterprise.
No, my dad stopped at Next Gen. He cannot watch Deep Space Nine.
Yeah,
he just can't get it. That's fair enough.
Everybody's got different opinions on all the different shows. That's absolutely brilliant. But what you cannot fundamentally deny is that excuse me, New Trek, all the Alex Kurtzman's projects are so demonstrably different that they do not resemble Star Trek.
Nope.
They are not Star Trek. It is his wet dream, his fantasy projects, that are ridiculous, by the way, that have Star Trek slapped on the name.
He's already flat out said that it's a platform for pushing his views. He's already flat out said
quote,
that.
That's him saying it.
Yeah.
And Tony Newsom has already said, yeah, the critics are going to tear this apart. So you knew then.
Yeah.
Why, and you think, oh, I'm being edgy, I'm being funny. It's like the Rian Johnson. I think they enjoy that people hate them.
Yeah, I think so. This series in particular is a big middle finger to all the fans.
Yeah,
it is 100%. This is what I'm saying. They're doing it deliberately.
Now, one thing you cannot accuse me of doing, and anyone in the chat, anyone watching this post live, if you don't like what I'm saying, that's fine. But one thing you cannot accuse me of, and I've been accused of this, is not giving this a chance. I gave every Star Trek show a fucking chance. I gave Next Generation a chance when I was younger. I gave DS9 a chance when I was younger. I gave Voyager a chance when I was younger. It disappointed me, but it was still a more watchable Star Trek show than this. I gave Enterprise a chance, and Enterprise, I think, pulled the biggest rabbit out the hat. I gave Discovery a chance. I did give Discovery a chance. I gave Strange New Worlds a chance. I gave Star Trek Picard a chance. I gave Lower Decks a good try. I didn't watch much past season 1 at all. I watched the one where they decanonized Discovery. I gave Prodigy a chance, and I've given this a chance. And do you know what? The conclusion I've drawn, I shouldn't have given them the chance. But don't ever accuse me of not giving it time, because we've given Kurtzman time, and we've given him all the chances, and everyone's walked away from it. The only reason YouTubers are covering this show and reviewing this show is because it's so bad, and it gets
YouTube
some money.
reviews are getting more views than the show is.
Yeah.
That's what the station got for.
And this isn't a flex because I'm only a small channel and it doesn't really matter. But I traditionally with this show I get 130 views maybe live. Okay, we're at 342 views for a small channel like this. Live views. That's phenomenal. I mean, it's because we're talking about Academy. Because I can guarantee you that if I put this stream on, I don't know, the finer points of sausage making, it wouldn't get the views. Even if I said, okay, well, we're going to Guna and I are going to do a special stream on relics.
Yep.
You wouldn't get the viewership. But the reason you're getting the viewership is because it's got an Academy in the thumbnail. An Academy thing, and we're talking about the worst episode of Star Trek. So Academy is building YouTube careers right now.
It's a shame, but people
It's a shame.
do. I mean, let's face it. Star Trek always had a cultural relevance to the extent that I think something to do with Star Trek was sent off with the Voyager probe. I think something to do with Star Trek was sent off with the Voyager probe. Don't know what it was.
Yes.
But something to do with Star Trek was sent off with the Voyager probe. It had massive cultural significance, and it said to us all, don't worry about the problems you have now. We're going to move past all of it. The future is going to be bright. Mankind is going to evolve into a world where everybody is the best version of themselves. And Star Trek now, or what they're calling Star Trek now, is just the opposite.
Well, they named a shuttlecraft to the Enterprise. You know, it has significance, massive significance. I mean, it always has had. You know, everything, even the parodies you were talking about earlier, the impressions of Kirk. You know, it became worldwide a bit of entertainment, but it was done with love and endearment. You were talking about if we were to do an episode on relics, won't get the numbers, but I'll tell you something, we'll enjoy it a lot more.
Oh, hell yes.
And it will be done with so much love.
Oh,
Look at Family Guy. Family Guy parodies the original series. Family Guy parodies Next Generation. Family Guy doesn't parody New Trek.
No,
because it's not culturally significant.
YouTube does.
Simpsons done it. Simpsons had appearances by Nimoy and some others, and then there was one. You know when they do the Simpsons intro, and then they had them all teleporting off the sofa or onto the sofa, which is brilliant. But the old teleportation sound effects. Do you think they'll do it now with the new Trek? Of course they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't. That's the difference.
I genuinely think that the footprint of Star Trek has never been smaller, and that people just don't.
Yes, very. Yeah.
They just don't care.
Which is a shame.
Yeah, it is a massive shame because, I mean, there's lots of TV shows out there, and you know you can have your attachment to your various things, but I would die on the hill that Star Trek was important. It mattered, and it had the ability to change things, and to see what it has become now. It hurts. I'm not going to lie, guys. I'm not going to lie. It hurts. I grew up watching this stuff with my dad. It meant a lot to me. And when my dad passes, and it will happen one day, I will always have those fond memories of growing up with him, watching Star Trek, and him explaining things to me, and us just enjoying it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like me.
To see what's happened to it fucking hurts.
You know, me and my brother have never had the closest relationship I wish we had. But one thing that we shared was Star Trek and you know, a couple of other, you know, sci-fi shows like Babylon 5 and whatnot, but Star Trek predominantly. And it was the thing that we did together pretty much more than anything else, single-handedly, was go to some conventions in the 90s. So it even brought family together in ways that you'd never expect it to. And it's really sad because I started watching at the age of 5 or 6 or 7. I can't remember what it was, but it was 1975 or 1977, and I was watching the reruns that were on late at night on BBC Two or whatever it was. And you know, it was an education for children and for the new generation. So I was the new generation at that time, and I feel like now the new generations are missing out because they haven't got anything. because this isn't, as you guys say quite clearly, it's not Star Trek, and it's, you can't learn from it. So it's a massive loss, I think, to society. I know that sounds crazy, but it is.
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. It is a loss to society, because we do just have this world now where the most superficial things about people are the things that people hold dear. You know, my favourite captain is Benjamin Sisko. It's Benjamin Sisko. Do I look like Benjamin Sisko? No. Am I black? Not last time I checked. Am I American? No. Do I like gumbo? No. Do I like deep south food? No. Do I even like baseball? No, not really. But the other things about Sisko, his sense of duty, loyalty, his no business attitude, you know, he didn't give two credit. He said what he meant all the time, were things that I
relatable
onto, identified with, even though physically I could not be further away from Avery Brooks if I tried. It didn't matter. But nowadays, it's the superficial things that people cling on to.
Don't you think it's it's just narcissistic traits?
It's narcissistic. I have to see myself in this character.
they want to see themselves in, because they're in love with themselves, and they want to see themselves in the show. Now, I think that I want to see inspiring attributes in the characters that I'm watching, something that that makes me stop and think, like Jean-Luc Picard did. Stop and make me think, is there a diplomatic way out of this that we can you know, we can save the situation, and thinking about things from other people's point of view. Now, no, I don't see myself represented in Sisko at all. No, I don't, and I don't need to see myself represented on screen. What I need to see is good people doing good things. I love to see a great villain. Gul Dukat is my favourite villain. He's the best written villain in the entirety of Star Trek, I believe.
What a character!
A phenomenal character, Gul Dukat. And there's aspects of Gul Dukat's personality that I see in myself.
Oh.
Yeah, there is, isn't there? There's pride. There's
Oh yeah. I mean, this is the brilliant thing about Gul Dukat. He's not. I mean, he's such a faceted character.
Yes.
You know, there's so many facets to him, and his experiences have shaped him and defined him. You know, that's how you write a character. And I understand that they've got 26 episodes back in those days, and you could spend a few of them on a character, and they haven't got that these days. That's their fault. But none of these characters have any facets to them. Not one. You know, Gul Dukat is the kind of character that you could write entire essays about. That he really is.
I'm going to finich my point actually, because I didn't paint myself in the best of light there. But with Gul Dukat, but if you think about it, he wants to be revered. He basically, and we've all done this before, when he basically says, "Look, I've done terrible things, but I could have been worse." You know, and when you have done, you know, if you've lied in your life, you say, "Well, I could have done worse. I could have hit you. I wasn't as bad as you thought I was." And I love that trait, you know, in Dukat. But you can see yourself in Julian. You can see yourself, elements of yourself in Kira. You know, fiery, and strong-willed. Kira was a fantastic character, and no new track character can come even close to Kira. You know, you can see his traits in yourself with Sisko.
Rom had more of a character.
Rom,
anything in New Trek.
Absolutely, Rom was brilliant. Nog was brilliant. All these characters
had more character than anything in New Trek. He just didn't say a word.
Exactly. Morn was a brilliant character, but I don't need to see myself represented on screen. I can see facets of my own personality because I'm self-aware enough to know who I am. Now, I consider myself a good person. I'm not Gul Dukat, honestly. I consider myself a good person. I'm a loving husband. I'm a father of 4. I love all my community. I love my friends and my family. Okay, and that's the core of who I am. Now I can see traits in these characters that I can both admire and despise, and I can see these characters evolve and grow, or devolve and turn evil. You see that's the interesting part of the journey. With new Trek characters, you don't see them because they're already fucking there. All the kids are already where they need to be. They're not learning anything because they know everything. Caleb doesn't need to learn anything because he knows everything. The hologram doesn't need to. Yeah, the hologram doesn't need to learn anything because she can absorb information instantaneously. So why is she not the smartest fucking character in that school? It's completely pointless. The whole show is completely pointless. I am calling. I'm going to call 5 minutes on this stream. We've already gone 15 over. 5 minutes till. This is last orders for for 10 forward for this stream. It has been
rights for Star Trek.
Last rights for Star Trek, definitely. This has been a record stream, guys. An absolute record stream. I cannot actually believe it. We're at 348 views. And again, wow. I'm not going to compete with the Drinker or Gary or any one of those anytime soon. But that has been a superb 348 live views. Has been a phenomenal number. And
carve your little niche out. That's all you can do. Dude.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all I want to do. Okay. But
people come to your channel for a reason. There's something you give them they want. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Yeah, and Masticina. I'll just leave it at that. Masticina. You are perfect as you are is not a good thing to teach. Absolutely not. No, it's not. How do you evolve and grow? Yeah, human beings are evolving and growing all the time. And that's how we mature. That's how we become wise beyond our years. If you're already perfect as you are, you can aspire to be nothing better.
And wasn't that always Star Trek? The drive to learn more. That's why do we explore? Why do we explore the universe?
Yeah.
To learn. To discover, to grow.
Play PJ Diablo. Sorry, I like you more than them. More open-minded and a fun chat. Oh, thank you, bless you. I mean, yeah, I think with the larger YouTubers, they are playing the algorithm game, and absolutely, they absolutely must, because it's their living and that's what they've got to do. They have to play the game,
and that loses the personal touch.
Exactly. And
that's what I love about this. This is just me chatting Trek with two like-minded dudes.
Yeah.
Like, we might not share all exactly the same opinions, but that's great because that makes it not an echo chamber.
Exactly.
We genuinely care about Star Trek. We genuinely hate what it's become, and I love to talk to you guys about it. It's brilliant.
It is. It's been a great time. I really, to be fair, I should probably think about an alternative way for us to communicate through the stream, because Discord is having a little bit of a delay problem at the moment. And to be fair, I'm not running the most up-to-date technology. I think my rig's about 10 years old now, so it might be time for an upgrade. So I might
Discord
have to.
Can be temperamental, very temperamental.
It is. At the end of the day, I still think Discord's a massive beta anyway. So Stephen Bromby says, I'll be turning 47 in March, and I reckon I will still have a lot to learn about things and gain more knowledge about life and stuff. As Trek once said, the journey never ends. Exactly.
You're learning till the day you die, guys. Because no one's experienced death. So that will be a new learning curve. I know it's not. I know it sounds really morbid, but none of us will know until we experience it. So you're learning all the time, constantly learning.
What Discord issues is a good place. It's mainly just a delay. I know that there's an active delay between what I'm seeing on my screen, which is Discord running, to what is actually being shoved through my software. There's a delay there. And there's a delay in the interaction because Al's getting a delayed version, Gooner's getting a delayed version, which means occasionally we'll interrupt each other and talk over one another. And it's just an unfortunate timing thing. So I may have to sort of restructure the show a little to have talking.
They probably want you to upgrade to Nitro. What I keep getting.
Yeah, I did try Nitro to upload some larger files.
All right.
And it was all right. I didn't really notice much difference, to be honest with you. There wasn't really any more special features. But yeah, it is always a pleasure to come here on a Friday night to sit in the corner of my living room, and just chat Trek. And I think that it's the passion that people have for Star Trek. I see a lot of the stuff that I see people being creative. They're being creative with the older series. They're not painting pictures of the USS Discovery. They might do Picard season 3 and some of the stuff in that, but it's predominantly older stuff. It's like, I did that's a painting of the Enterprise D bridge that I did.
Oh wow, nice.
And
that's good.
I think that's the sexiest fucking bridge ever. It's proper cruiser bridge. That is. Yeah. I love it. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I like the Voyager bridge. It's a little sterile. I love the Defiant bridge. It's phenomenal. That ain't gonna stay now. And I love the NX-01 bridge. They're all got different styles, but new Trek bridges all look the same.
It's the same as everything else. It's just substance. Why is everybody 20 foot away from everybody else?
Nightclubs.
Yeah.
It's just. Yeah.
Captain, can you hear me? Can you hear me over there? There's a torpedo coming. What? Yeah, there's no carpet to absorb.
Why are all the lights red when it's not red alert?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
LEDs everywhere. That drawing is cool, DM. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, spot on. If you haven't already hit the like button on the stream and you've liked the stream, then please like the stream. Share it in some groups and with some other channels.
47 likes, DM, 3 away from 50. It's amazing.
That's phenomenal.
Hit that like button if you haven't already.
Yeah, if you haven't already hit that like button. Let's get it up to 50 before we end here, and that would be really cool. Yeah, big waste of ship space. Absolutely. It's just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the Enterprise F from Star Trek Online. I think it was a very nice looking ship. A lot of people
it's a beautiful ship.
It
Odyssey class.
Yeah, fantastic. But I thought the bridge was excessively large in Star Trek Online. It was a huge bridge. It would need to be scaled down for a TV appearance. But I don't know whether you've seen the trailer that we put that I made for Star Trek Odyssey, the show that we made, but it is on my channel, guys, and that features the Enterprise F. That is, we go back to being on the Enterprise, exploring strange new worlds, but not strange new worlds, definitely not. It's a beautiful ship. It features heavily, and it is our ship of choice for the show. And we got
some of the Star Trek Online ships were really nice, man.
Oh, I mean, that's where the Enterprise F was born.
It was a competition, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Competition. Yeah.
Yeah, Zell's the knowledgeable one on that because he practically lives on Star Trek. Man. He's your Star Trek Online guru.
I played it for a little bit. I think I hit a wall and I couldn't be bothered to put the work in, but I might go back to it one day.
It's a commitment. It's a commitment. Absolutely commitment. For those of you who don't know, I will be live in a couple of weeks on a Friday, but before 10 forward, I will be streaming Resident Evil Requiem. When that releases on the 27th, for anybody who's into Resident Evil. I love Resident Evil. So I'll be streaming it on this channel, on my main channel. I do have a gaming channel, but I'll be streaming it on this channel, and that will be nice and early in the morning. Make more Odyssey episodes when possible. You mean do another writer's room? Yeah, it might be interesting. Get some. It might be interesting if you guys are interested in the writer's room. Season 1 was me, Zell, and Watch Nerd. Season 2 could be me, you, and Guna. Maybe
I'd like to think we couldn't do worse than Starfleet Academy. So yeah.
I think we do absolutely spot on. Right, I suppose you're 10 minutes over. I think, come on, guys, can we get it up to 50 likes? If you haven't already liked the stream, hit that like button. Let's get it up
I'm
to
trying
50
to like it
before
again,
we
but
go.
I can't.
I know,
Yeah,
I know. It'd be so nice if we could.
I think we might have upset Gareth. I don't know if you can see it, but I can.
No, possibly. It's possible. But you know, hey, at the end of the day, don't come in and start throwing shade in.
I mean, I'm up for anybody to debate them, and like, look, if you genuinely think you've got examples or points of view that illustrate that this is well written, I'm happy as a writer to try and take them apart. I'm happy to do that civilly in discourse, because that's what it's all about. And hey, maybe you can change my mind. Maybe you can convince me it is well written. I doubt it, but I welcome that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But to come in and just go, oh, Deep Space Nine and The Next Generation are shit when they're the most applauded series of Star Trek is probably not the way to do it, to be honest.
It's probably not the best way to go, for sure.
50.
Hey, we hit 50.
Hey!
Legendary.
Nice.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate that. 50 likes on the stream. I was only here to give one like. Oh, bless you. Yeah, same here. Same here. I can only like a stream once. It'd be nice. Yeah, I think we'll call it a day there. We hit 50 likes. Fantastic. And record stream. Thank you very much, everybody in the chat. I will read through some names because I'm nice that way. So, blimey, the chat did go on. MJ Brandt, thank you. Alia Abadi, thank you. ROTN said thank you. Zell, thanks for coming in. And I assume you're still a mod. You're showing up in blue. That's absolutely fantastic. Watchnerd, thank you for coming in, stopping by. PJ Diablo, thank you. Fabius Polis, thank you. Good Place, thank you for coming in. We had Matthew Ross earlier. Please check out Matthew Ross's podcast. Really, really cool. Yelling at Gaseous Anomalies. Check out Clayton Rumley. Check out Reefer Chill Sandwiches, Games Librarian. All the links are there in the description. And check out Critic Al Reviews. I know he's got a new video coming very soon. So
I put it up.
Oh, you put it up. It's live.
You can see me lose my mind in real time.
Go and watch Al lose his mind. And as always, thank you, Guna, for coming on. It's always a pleasure to have you on 10 Forward. And yeah, thank you both. Genuinely, it's been a really good stream. And yeah, I'm going to call it a day. Take it easy, everybody. We shall see you for the next 10 Forward. I'll see you in the next video. You'll see me in the next video. Until then, mind how you go. Look after yourself. Join the Discord if you haven't and already. And yeah, take care, everyone. Bye-bye for now.